Well, there goes the Daverhood. Good morning, everybody, and welcome on this Saturday, January. Wait, I hear my wife in the background. What? Yeah, my wife is in the other room. She'll be along shortly to help out with the 877th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the stream, featuring me, Dave Lefkowitz, you watching at home, my wonderful wife Joyce contributing as she does, and a couple of special guests playing our weekly trivia game. So it's going to be a classic, typical, atypical Dave's Gone By episode. Here's what we got in store for you over the next 2.5 to 3 hours of your time, your valuable time, which is obviously not that valuable because you're watching this. But anywho, did I mention I'm Dave Lefkowitz? Yes, I am. And that I've been hosting this program since October of 2002. And that's why we've got 876 of these already in the can. But this one, let's see, we're going to have Greeley Crimes and Old Times, where we go through the newspaper in Greeley, Colorado for 2 wonderful columns that they do every week about weird phone calls that come into the police department and also items that were in the newspapers there 100 years ago. It's a segment we've been doing for many years now. We love it. And it's called Greeley Crimes in Old Times. Plus, we will have our I don't know how this became plus. This is kind of like, Captain Hook summoning children or something. But plus, we have Colorado Limerick of the Damned. And because we lived in Colorado, what's that, babe? Oh, Joyce almost fell, but I'm on the air, so something horrible happens to her. I can't deal. I'm with you right now. So, Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we will go to, where are we going? Silver Plume, Colorado. There's a town called Silver Plume, Colorado, and I've written a poem about it, as I have about nearly 250 other places in Colorado, and these aren't beautiful epic sonnets and odes. Oh no, these are more like odors.
Oh, you're so clear with my vocals. Wow.
These are limericks, disgusting 5-line poems, and that's why we kind of save them towards the end of the show. Do I look better with or without all the light? I think I look good. This is good.
I think you look really handsome.
Ooh, thank you.
I gotta sit down. I'm half asleep.
Yeah, that's my wife Joyce in the background,
I'm sleepy.
Having her tea and enjoying, I hope, her brand new.
I'm loving them.
Progressive glasses.
I can see every single thing on your shirt. I can see every freckle you have, every hair.
Moles, yeah.
Everything.
Right, where's my mole? Oh, and my weird neck discoloration. That's probably cancer.
It's not cancer, don't say that.
Well, what could this possibly be? I've had this for weeks.
Why are you wearing those old pants?
Well, they're not on camera, so that doesn't matter. Well, if anyway, doctors watching at home, this I thought was a scratch, like on my neck.
It looks like a burn, actually.
Okay, maybe a burn.
Why don't you just go? We have Johns Hopkins. Go to a dermatologist.
Yeah. Well, not if I can get this done free. Not if somebody watching at home.
That's what my friend Natalie and I used to call the Google doctor. You don't want a doctor who's based off of Google.
Now this is red because I've been rubbing it, and I shaved last night. But this is like a discoloration that has not gone away in about 3 months. So I'm probably dying, but I don't know it because I'm too scared to get a blood test. But how are your glasses, dear?
Good. I'm just tired. I'm very tired today.
All right. Well, it's a Saturday morning.
Yeah, maybe because it's overcast. I feel like it's I know it's 9 o'clock, but it feels to me about 6.
Wow. All right. But here's the deal. Joyce has worn glasses for most of
Since I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So I was 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you in contacts before that, or you just nothing?
No, that's what somebody asked me yesterday. I had contacts a little bit when I was in, I think, college.
Well, I make tons of contacts in college. Did they call me? Did they write? No.
No, but because I used to have such bad allergies and stuff, I couldn't. And I tried, and someone said they used to have lenses that were hard lenses. Then I tried the ones that were soft and the disposable ones that you could sleep in and all sorts of. And I couldn't tolerate them. I couldn't. after a little while, my eyes would just get so itchy. I would tear. Like, I don't know how people do it, but
I can't imagine. I literally
I
can't
tried
opening
so
your eye
much.
like twice a day and going,
Yeah.
book. I'm just like, ah,
It wasn't bad. Like, that wasn't bad. I just couldn't, like, yeah, I'm too itchy, I guess.
But you've been wearing distance vision lenses for many years, right?
They were.
But also in recent times, you're older. I'm getting older. It's like your eyes when you're trying to read.
Getting older
too. Nobody can see this. All they see is me kind of. I'm joining hands and Joyce across the. But so anytime you had to read something up close, like your phone, the glasses had to go up or off and then back on to see.
Yeah.
So you're something to hell with this. You finally go to an ophthalmologist or optometrist, one of them.
I don't know the name.
You went to the opera.
I did go there.
Because you had phantom pain, so you went to the phantom of the ophthalmologist, and they said, you know what, it's time. We're going to give you a progressive lens. Not one of those three. What are the three baggers for? It's sort of like they're dividing into three. What's the third one?
Bifocal. I don't know.
Trifocal.
I don't understand the.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make you?
I used to listen to Simon and Trifocal. They were pretty good back in the day.
Tea?
I do not have tea. I would like tea when you go get it. But tell me more about your glasses.
Okay.
And then while you're making tea, I can talk about some of the stuff I don't need you here for. So,
okay. So great. So what was the thing we saw? Oh, I know you had a hankering for new food.
Yeah.
A new cake.
Yeah.
When we passed the diner.
Oh!
I'm trying to jog your memory.
Oh, no, we're moving away from, but we haven't finished with your glasses yet. How are they?
They're great. I mean, I'm happy that I can get used to them. I think, like, the way that, I don't know how people first discover they need glasses, but I went to Catholic school, and they used to rigorously test you, and they would line you up and test you. And before that, I was a Girl Scout, and I remember we used to do arts and crafts, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why I sat in the back. Maybe because I was a W, right? And so I'm sitting in the last, the table's far away from the board, and I couldn't see. So I couldn't read the instructions. And then I kept going up to the first table, and then I would sit on the floor and read we made a beautiful black cat. It was like a Coke bottle. You painted it black.
Oh, yeah.
You put little black, handball. You painted it. You put beautiful green eyes. You put rhinestones, and you made little felt ears. So I wanted to make this for my Aunt Helen. I thought this was a good gift for my aunt, my poor aunt.
No, not the first time she enjoyed some black pussy. No.
No, but I couldn't see it, and I was so disappointed because I had to find somebody who could generate the Coke bottle, get all the. It's hard to get all that stuff, right? Get all the parts, and then I finally got there to see it, and I couldn't. And Senora Figueroa, Mrs. Figueroa, was my Girl Scout leader. Yeah. So she said, Joyce, I think you should get your eyes checked.
Why did you were already in school by then, right? You were already in the second or third grade.
In school I just read, I don't know. I was third grade.
It's amazing. It took a camp counselor or a Girl Scout leader to say, hey, by the way.
Because she probably saw the change of me going, coming closer and closer. And then I knew, I was like, damn, so it was this Patron. She was like, I think it was Patron. I don't know. I think it was like a hard teacher. She was tough. And you got eye tested, and if your eyes were good, you got a thin packet. And if your eyes were bad, you got a thick one. And I was like, I'm getting a thick one. And I got a thick one.
I know that as you've grown up, you enjoy a thick one. Ow.
But I didn't,
Are you getting used to now having...
Yeah.
Because with the progressives, you've got one way in the middle, one way in the bottom. But it's not evenly, there's a line between them. It's just sort of transition.
The thing you have to tell people, which I did learn, is you don't look, when you look down, you got to move your head. So instead of looking down your glasses to look a certain way, you keep your line of vision straight, you just locate your head. That's helped me.
That's wonderful. So is it working out? Yeah.
I see things clearer now than I've seen.
I can see clearly now. My eyes are good.
The level of clearness is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And also, you don't have to take your let's read. Now you can just kind of move your head.
Which I think that widened my. I learned the word for this. This is the carriage. In your glasses, the lenses are the lenses, but everything that holds it is the carriage. So I think the reason my glasses came off when I took my mask off is because the more you took them on and off, the more I took them on and off, I was messing up some sort of springs that they fixed.
Yeah.
So they were loose.
Yeah, not only were they loose, you pulled the mat. What happened was a couple of weeks ago, we were coming up Walgreens, and it was like Joyce and I still wear a mask going to these places.
I don't want to die.
So, but it's winter. So she's got a hat, she's got the glasses, she's got a mask, and it's like, pulls the mask off, and the glasses just go flying onto the asphalt.
I couldn't, this funniest part, because I'm so nearsighted, I couldn't see them to find them. And it's like near the drive-thru, and I'm like, David, can you see my glasses?
And I was like, well, thank goodness they found, no car had come over them, but they did chip. Just a little bit on the top, and so you have a spare pair.
You know where I should have gone to those windshield guys that fix chips.
Honest to gosh, or the California Highway Patrol. Well, they are chips essentially.
Yeah. But I'm really...
hey, how come you're not up on the comedy noises? There we go. So that's the glasses thing. That was one thing we dealt with this week and last week.
I texted you a bunch of things.
Oh yeah. One of which was
what was the second one?
I was driving to. You mentioned it before. I was driving to somewhere to school.
What was it? The flings, the gain flings.
That was last week. We talked about gain flings last time.
Yeah.
That was we still haven't bought any gain flings, but if you're watching next week, and I know you were. I did a whole bit.
Did you get sponsored by any gain flings?
I have not. All the things I have mentioned. Remember when 15 years ago, somebody at work or somewhere, I saw it in some local bodega type deli, a big yellow packet with a rooster on it of chicken soup, but it was called cock flavored soup.
I think you got a present of that, right?
I bought myself like 3 packets of cock flavored soup.
No, but I think that we wouldn't like the gain flings if they were fragrance free.
I would try them. I've thrown them in the laundry.
Fragrance free flings.
But what happened was a week or so ago, I was driving to school and Joyce to school, and just on it probably was a Walgreens. So it was their Walgreens changing sign outside in the parking lot where they changed the letters like Cindy Sherman or whatever her name is.
What's going to get a whole bunch of people in your store? I mean, let's think about this. Like, I think it's like almost like what do you call those? Like remember the guy?
Freebies, giveaways?
Like Crazy Eddie. Like, it's like it's that marketing. Like, what's really going to make people run in the droves? Like,
and so instead of just like milk
or
this
chocolate,
price,
I would put like ice cream or chocolate. So I'm like,
ice cream, Ben and Jerry. Oh God, fuck Ben and Jerry. But the other people, Breyers, 2 for $5.
Anything, or put like sale on Valentine's chocolates. Get people in, but don't fling.
We were passing this sign, and by the way, I've driven. I talked about this last week, but I've driven this back and forth now 100 times. So
and it made you turn in the wrong place.
Yeah, that was the thing. I see.
You turned in the. Maybe they put it there so that people mistakenly turn in the urgent care, and that's how they get patients.
Oh,
Dove Fling. What is it?
Gain Flings.
Gain Flings. Woo! And then we end up in urgent care. I was like, ah!
I didn't think of that.
Maybe.
Yeah, because what happened was, this drive that I've done, day after day or 4 or 5 times a week. But suddenly I'm like, what the? I see on this Gain Flings.
Yes.
What is this? And I'm so distracted that I turn up the wrong road.
You love the absurd.
I do. Well, look at Gain Fling. And it's actually a brilliant name for it because there are these little games. Fling it into the laundry, but I didn't know. And so I turn up the wrong thing, and it's the parking lot of an ER. I
know we were in like one of the urgent care. I was like, David, we don't want to be here.
No.
And there was like some guy in the car, like he looked really like distraught, and he was like holding paperwork. I was like, ah.
And I was a surgeon, so.
He needs a gain fling.
So I got the hell out of there. But we haven't bought any gain flings to this point. But then we had another sign this week that also distracted me, even though I didn't go off the road seeing it.
We didn't go back to urgent care this weekend.
We don't live in Owings Mills and we don't live in Pikesville, which are kind of known in northern Maryland areas, kind of rather Jewish areas. It's not like they're 100% shtetl ghetto Cedarhurst, but they've got a large Jewish population growing and stuff like that. We live near these places, and we actually live in a place that was named after a whole different religious guy.
Yeah.
So, but I'm driving up this road that go back and forth all the time, and there's this place It's like a cafe or it's not a diner.
Like a little
It's
upscale. It's more than like it's an
bistro.
upscale diner. Yeah. They have they have like some special crab dish. And they're
Yes.
always putting some, but it's fancy. It's like au gratin, right? It's
Right,
like they always have like fancier.
a little cream of shrimp
It's
scampi
not
soup. Yeah.
like a diner you go to get eggs and toast for like $3
No,
or $5. It's like
No,
more
it's like
upscale.
a uppy, scaly bistro thing. And they will change, just like this Walgreens will. They'll have their sign.
Oh my God, David.
What?
With my glasses, I look down and I can see every hair on my leg. I've never seen that before.
You've never seen the hair on your legs?
Not so individually like this. Wow.
Joyce is rediscovering the landscape of her own body. This is exciting. But so we're passing the sign. The sign is usually like, as she said, shrimp scampi, right?
Or some kind of fancy, try our new fall line of pumpkin, whatever.
But we passed this 3 days ago. Now remember, we're well past Rosh Hashanah. We're well past Hanukkah. We're a month past Hanukkah at this point. So we passed this. I'm in big, not neon. What do they call those? Lit up letters, changing letters.
It's the same thing like with where you saw the gain flames.
Right. Yes.
It's one of those come on signs. Yeah. Electronic.
The electronic changing sign. Yeah. And I'm like my jaw drops because I see on this electronic sign of this bistro, Jewish apple cake.
Yes.
I'm like, what? Jewish. The word Jewish, prominent.
I think it had a bar mitzvah, that's why.
But, all right, first of all, I'm Jewish, in case you didn't know, 58 years old. In my life, I've never heard of Jewish apple. I've heard of strudel, apple strudel.
Yeah.
Apple. You make kugel maybe with some apples.
Like McDonald's has that apple pie my grandfather used to like. It's like that fried apple
pie.
No,
those were good. I used to like the McDonald's apple and the cherry. Oh, those were good. But apple, first of all, nobody likes fruitcake. We're well past the month of fruitcake when people get them, and don't want them.
Maybe, David, what I thought of, this might be apple season. Because if you look when we go to like Mom's and the groceries, there are a lot more apples. So they have different kinds.
How do you like them? They're apples.
They have 4 or 5, so maybe there's an abundance of. I don't know when apples come in, season, but this is January. I don't know.
Yeah. Why would it? Apple. When we used to go apple picking with our friends, it would be in October. That's when the real harvest came through. Yeah. So, and of all things to go, it's not like because in apple streusel pie, you can get those apple crumb cakes that I can get over at Lidl. Half the time they're 30% off.
Love them, the pastries.
Apple, beautiful apple pie, apple crumb, but Jewish apple cake. Mm-hmm. And we were in kind of a hurry, so I wasn't going to drop in and buy one.
Right? Didn't I look in?
But we looked it up, and it is this traditional sort of Polish.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, right, Pennsylvania Dutchy.
It comes from Pennsylvania, but it has Polish origins, right?
Right. So. But to advertise it as such, as if this is something people, I guess in PA, which we're not far from.
No, we're in that region. Wow.
Yeah. So,
but it's not Lancaster Dutch. I thought it would, maybe when we go, because you also, when you went to the Amish farmers market, you got a butter cake, you got, what's the other one, shoo-fly pie.
Yeah. I tried for the very first time. You should
ask them if they have Jewish apple
cake. Yeah. I was like, do happen, because they might know what that is.
Yeah, because they're I don't know if they're from
They probably call it Polish apple cake.
Yeah, or apple cake.
Yeah. They probably just say.
But you love that buttery, gooey, buttery thing.
Well, they made, because all my life I've really enjoyed pecan pie.
Blondie.
I love blondies, but blondies are really good. I also like the food. but can't get blonde. Oh, so, and pecan pie is one of my favorite pies. I love pecans. I love the sweetness. I like it. I know it's too sweet for some people, but with a nice cup of coffee and a little whipped cream on top, pecan pie is like, well. But I've never had in my life, even though I've heard about this all my life from the South, shoo-fly pie. SHOO-fly pie. Mm-hmm. And I knew it had to be really sweet. I knew it was this thing they call because you got to keep the flies from buzzing around it because it's so sweet
and sticky. It's a molasses.
It's a molasses thing, and I thought It was, and they had one. They had one on sale over at the Amish market that we have locally. I said, you know what? Okay, it's on sale. I don't have to get a whole one. They have half one for a
Yeah,
reasonable price.
Try it.
I'm getting some shoo-fly pie.
What was the other thing? It was the buttery gooey.
Yeah, it was more of a butter, like their version of a blondie, which was great.
When we looked up shoo-fly pie,
Yes.
it said that it was more of a, it's not as sweet. It's more of a breakfast thing with coffee. It's more like a breakfast
Or
dish.
you said a lunch. It's not as sweet as you think it's going to be. It's actually a little less.
It's not really like a sweet pie.
Yeah. Oh no, it's sweet, but it's not as sweet as say chocolate cream pie or or pecan pie. It's a nice crust. The molasses, you figure molasses is pure sugar, but no, it's mellow.
Wow.
It's very, very nice.
Well, the girl said at the checkout, you said I've never had it. She said you're going to enjoy it.
She was right.
She knew.
She was right. You know, I'm gonna tell you, I'll go have sex with her as a thank you.
I don't think they're open. Plus,
well, she might be.
You know what I find a lot of times? It's always different people. I find that really like. Every time we look at the furniture, it's a different people. Like, I don't know.
Well, they reproduce a lot. No, so they've got a lot of people to work.
I guess.
You work tomorrow, you work Thursday. I don't know why they suddenly turned German.
Why did they turn like Russian? Like Stalin. They become Stalin.
There's hope leap. I came like Dracula. The Pennsylvania Romanian.
But you like that. You're really adventurous with what you'll try.
There's nothing adventurous about a person going to a bakery and trying shoo-fly pie.
You also got that thing of donuts. Those donuts were sweet last time.
They were good. I finally finished the last donut. Finally. They have at this Amish market also.
No, they weren't from the Amish market. They were from the store.
Oh, that was from
Giant.
Safeway or Giant. Or, yeah. That was cool. I got like 2 weeks ago. Like 8 donuts, half a dozen donuts for some ridiculously low discounted price because they were already supposedly going stale. And so I bring them home, put them in the fridge, and I've been having them alternating, different days with breakfasts. And 2 weeks later, I finally finished the last friggin' donut. It's hard as a rock, but you put it in the microwave for 15 seconds, and it's like perfectly good donut. So I have to start doing that with everything, even if it's got like green mold on things. I'm gonna start doing that. So, do you want to talk about your very special event this week, or you want to get your tea first and do that? Can you do it without the tea?
I might need tea. Why don't you could talk about my very special event?
Okay, well then I'll need that.
Okay. I can't. I don't want to bend. I'm going to make you a cup of tea too. Okay?
Thank you ever so much. So, was not a bad week by any stretch of the imagination. Very nice week, busier than we thought it would be. But Joyce and I are preparing for teaching. Wow, did you hear that? Teaching the next semester. I'm just part-time. She's this is her career thing, and then we're working on that and doing that. And she's got a ton of other stuff for her work and things. But the other thing that she has been wanting and meaning to do since the middle of December was, we're both over 50, and she's going to doctors and testing and stuff like that. But it's also the age where you want to check and make sure everything is okay downstairs. So she gets permission from her doctor, and she goes for, you've seen the commercials, the Cologuard thing, right? You know the commercials for this. It's sort of like, hey, why go to a proctologist, why go to a hospital, why go this and have a tube and go sedated or whatever? Before you go through all of this, we can just basically check your stool, give it a look, and then if any red flags go up, then go and whatever. But if you send it to us, we look at it, we can tell certain tests and stuff and so forth, and basically say, whatever you have to worry about in your life, colon cancer, at least at this point, isn't one of them. It's the one thing I really, really, really want to do. Because if you know this program, you know I'm obsessed with feces, love poo, have ever since been a child. And also you know probably that I'm kind of, not phobic, but I'm very scared of needles. I don't like blood tests, giving blood, taking blood, doing any blood relay, any sticking, hurting, owie thing. Not for me. Not for me. So I'm going to avoid that, and have avoided it basically for 20-something years. So I go to the doctor if I'm sick, but not as I should. for my checkup. So, this could really be cancerous. I have no idea. I go to, I go when I have to and not when I should. So I haven't really been checked. I got no idea what is coursing through my bloodstream. My only hope is that because I've never done any illicit drugs, I've never done, barely drunk any alcohol at all in my entire life, etc. and so forth, and I don't have any AIDS or HIV or HPV diseases. I've been led a pretty clean life, not a decent life, but a clean life. And so, hoping that'll help me out a little bit. I'm not going to be Lisa Marie Presley, like, what she was doing 15 years ago, came home to roost. Boom. No, I've been a good boy to my body, except for all the junk food and crap I eat, but we won't go there. So, afraid of getting a blood test, but if I always tell doctors, I always tell people when they ask, well, you should have a scan, it's about that, you should do this and that, and I tell them, you know what? If you want to look at my pee-pee, not my actual penis, but my urine, I will give you buckets. I will bring you a bucket of urine every day. You can look at, you can splash in it, you can guzzle it on a hot summer's day. Fine. Urine, you want? Do you want my saliva? Here, enjoy. Take tons of saliva from me. I'll give you freely. You want my poo? If you want poop, God, I'm pretty good about these things. I do go basically once or twice a day. I got pretty good workings down there. You want to take that? It's painless for me. I'll and take it and enjoy. But blood, so Cologuard, I start seeing these commercials on TV. I mean, well, yes, please. But I don't think you can just be like a person and order a Cologuard kit. I think it has to be like, you have to go to a doctor to approve it, and then you send away, and they send you up for $150, whatever it is, and they'll test your duties. So I want to do this, but I don't want to go to a doctor who's going to tell me, well, we need you to we got to run a blood panel on you because we haven't done one of these in 25 years. And then, of course, you can do the Cologuard too. I'm like, no, the point of this is for me not to get stuck for blood. They look at my poo-poo, and then they tell me if I have to go for blood. It should work the other way around, right? The painless thing first, and then, we're noticing something here. Better get checked. Right? This is what I want to do. But Joyce is able to do it because she's more fearless than I am. And she can do both. So they send her the Cologuard box in the mail. Come, get the box with those blue line things around the design of it, right? And we get it a month ago in the mail. She's like, well, when should I do this? Because they warn you, try not to do this when it's near holidays or long weekends, because you have to be tested within 4 days of the sample being taken and so forth. So she's already thinking, well, I can't, it's a little close to Christmas. I can't go there because this won't be seen over Christmas, whatever. And then it's New Year's week, and literally weeks are going by. And the funny part is also that she's getting constant messaging from Cologuard, email, texts, phone calls. Have you done it yet? It's like as soon as you order one of these things, they want to make damn sure that you're on top of it, as it were. It's kind of, like almost every single day, she will get some kind of notification from Cologuard. Saying, well, we haven't received your doo-doo yet. Are you on this? Don't forget, we sent it. Do you need another one? Did something get messed up? And she's just like, no, we're just waiting because you're not supposed to do it during the holidays and it's a stressful time and I'm dealing with other things. So then finally, New Year's Day, you were with us on New Year's Eve, if you were watching the show. We did our New Year's Eve program, January 1st passes, and it's like, okay, New Year, kind of time to get this done. Which, of course, with the pressure now on, as you heard that noise, so Joyce, perfect timing.
No, I gotta get your tape on. Tell me, what at my poop?
Well, no, I'm talking literally about, so it's now first days of January, and it's time for you to do the do, And this is, of course, when she gets constipated. This is now that the holidays are done with. Now that and she's not worried about school because we're not teaching yet for 2 or 3 more weeks. Now it's time to do the Cologuard, and her tuchus just says nope. Nope.
This did not say yup.
Not gonna happen. Like the windows closed.
I think he was afraid because he didn't want to say not without my poopies, He didn't want to give up his poopies.
Yeah, I mean so the thing is, you got to apparently, it's not enough to just make anything. You sort of need a sample that's big enough to do what you got to do with. And so if she would sometimes, are you saying, I would tell her, are you saying you have not gone to the bathroom in a week? Because you would probably be in the ER right now. And I see you with disimpacting you. And she says, no, I have these nuggets. And unfortunately, apparently, nuggets are not enough. They were fine for the gold rush. They're not fine for the tush rush. So she's waiting. And it's like day after day. And it's not, by the way, we watched the video of the Cologuard thing. It's very good. There's an official video that you can watch on YouTube and on their site that tells you how to use this thing. And it's one of the more perfect how-to videos ever because it gives you all the information. It's very clear. You can always pause it because there's a lot of info going by. But it's a really quite... The actual process is simple. All the mailing label and to fill this out, that's the pain in the balls. But or in her case, the pain in the vagina. But the actual thing is really, really, really. So you open the thing, the box. You take out this plastic. It's a shelf. You just basically open the toilet lid, put the shelf down. You put a container in the shelf, open that up, boom, so that it collects
your duty.
Your bum-bums.
You tell them your favorite part of the whole thing.
What was... I love the whole...
And in the video, they show a man who is collecting his stool, but they have a sign that says, this is not actual stool.
Yeah, because, the video is great.
But why would they have to put that? Like, who would think he'd actually be...
It looks realistic. I was shocked at the video. It was Cologuard. They made the video itself.
No, but who made the fake poo? You should write in and say
how.
Yes.
What? Because they literally...
I bet it was like Alpo or something.
No, that didn't look like Alpo.
No.
That looked like real... Honestly, because in this sample video...
So who makes fake stool?
Whoever works for Cologuard. Because they had to figure out how... He's like, I've got it. We have to show this. We actually have to show this as realistically as possible because people are freaky and we don't want to get people sending in the wrong thing or doing it the wrong way. So when our fake guy, the South Asian smiling bearded man, who's the protagonist, he's the narrator.
I thought he was like Greek or something.
Oh, maybe. And so you see him. He's like, okay, I'm going to open the box. I'm taking this out. I'm making sure I have all the things I need.
They sent me about 975. I mean, I'll see my phone.
Yeah.
They sent me about 975 texts about, how do you like our product? I'm like, it's not really like something I'm...
So you see this guy, and then he closes the bathroom door. Right. So you figure, okay, I'm all ready. Now it's time to do the thing. So they close the door, and you figure, okay, very... discreet, very nice, and then afterwards he'll show up, box it up.
Because we're all watching him.
Well, but then...
It's not discreet.
Well, no, he opens the bathroom door again, and now he shows you his shit.
He's got a container of poo-poo.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to show you his private areas.
They don't want you showing him taking a dump.
Also, because technically it's not his, it's a fake, it's a show stool.
There's no stool like show stools.
It's very difficult to say that. I'm going to see, I hope they didn't send me again. They constantly are sending me. I took a survey.
Yeah.
Like, how difficult was it to follow our instructions?
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Like, I'm like, please, like, you're stressing me out. They're gonna give you stress.
Well, but that was the if you get to see this video, that's the wonderful thing. You actually see the guy take the thing that you're supposed to do. They give you like a Q-tip, a plastic Q-tip, and you're supposed to take your duty. I mean, you're holding it in a container, by the way, not in your hand.
No, in that bucket. They give you a stool bucket.
A stool bucket, and you take this thing and you scrape it along the edge of the doo-doo, and then you put the thing in a little tube. So here's do untouched, and then you put this liquid in there. It's called preservative. Ooh. And you pour this in with the rest of your stool. You're not just sending that little sample. You're sending the sample and the whole thing you collected
But not
with.
everything.
Well,
so they tell you just the size of that bottle.
Well, what happens if you...
You know what you do is you poop.
Yeah.
You get that one stool. You take off the whole apparatus, and then you can poop the rest in the toilet.
Oh, really? But yeah, if you can do that cutting off thing, like in a factory, it's like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Move the thing. Move it. You know. Part 2, number 2. So, but Joyce did it. I'm so proud of her. And we collected it, and we're every 10 minutes. Like I'm looking out the front door because we can see like there's glass by our front door, and I'm looking at the box like that. Oh, they haven't taken it yet because you call UPS or UPS
yes, I did.
or POOPS, and they come. You can either bring it to a UPS store or they can come and collect it quite literally. And so a couple of hours later, it was gone. So Joyce's poo is magically floating somewhere. And it would have been more fun, though, because we have a local UPS store. It's about 2 miles from where we live. And all we had to do, because Joyce also has to return, we have that
Soda Stream.
The Soda Stream, the thing that makes the bubbles in soda. She loves it. And so you have to buy these carbon dioxide canisters that make the spritz when you're making your seltzer.
That's a little bit less embarrassing to deliver. I could not.
No, but I would love to do them both.
No, what the lady said to me, which I felt a little embarrassed, she said, I'm scheduling the pickup for today, but if for some, I said, what happens? Because they give you all this thing, like, it has to be in within so many days, you need to, order. So they give you the scary part. So I said to her, what happens if for some reason, because they were supposed to come between 10 and 8 p.m., 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. I said, what happens if they don't show up? And she said, well, you'll have to take it to a UPS,
right, yes.
What is it called?
A center, a drop-off center,
but,
shipping.
I don't want to take my poops there. Like,
right, the sign actually says shipping/shitting. So
then I feel better.
But wouldn't it be cool? It's like you walk into UPS and you're like, oh, hi, yeah, we have a couple of things to ship. Here's this is a canister that's empty of carbon dioxide from our soda stream. Yeah. Oh, here, enjoy. And then, like, you put on, like, rubber gloves. And say, here's a box. What's in the box? We have to make sure it's not something ticking at, post-terrorism, post-9/11.
You know what I really like, though? They're really nice. They give you, within the box, a baggie, so you actually zip it in, so in case there is any spillage, quote-unquote.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it's very clever.
No, the whole thing is brilliant.
I think it's very clever.
Yeah. I mean, I was telling them while you were downstairs, I would totally, completely want to do this. Yeah. Only thing is, it'd be kind of great if, God forbid, a million times. So let's say I was living alone, had Parkinson's or something, and wanted to do this. I get most of it done, but then I go to the UPS store. It's like, can you help me close this up?
I don't think they're allowed to, especially with excrement. I don't think people are supposed to touch your excrement, honey. Like,
well, they wouldn't quite have to touch that.
No, but if you had Parkinson's or any dexterous issue, you might not be able to zip the bag.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No.
So you go to the UPS store with everything.
I think you'd have to ask a friend. They'd probably say, do you have any friends who could help?
I need to scrape the thing.
That was hard.
Could you do this for me?
Let me tell you, that was hard because the fake poo scraped more easily.
Really?
That one was misleading. I wrote that.
Oh, well, their poo was a little softer. You must have made a fairly hard stool.
I think that part could have been done. We didn't see it in Spanish, though, either. But
And by the way, instead of having to do this by mail or UPS or drop off, why don't they just train birds to deliver these things to Cologuard?
So messy. That could be
No, not necessarily. You train them just like Terry Malloy did on the waterfront. They're stool pigeons.
No.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much. You're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful wife, Joyce. It is our 877th episode of the program. We're calling it Worth the Wait, because this week was also about waiting. Like, we're waiting for Joyce to make a duty. We're waiting for the UPS people to send it to Cologuard.
Really waiting,
we were waiting day after day. I'm like, today we're going to do it.
I couldn't have done it. They said like, and then they're like, don't do it your holiday. So I get the thing around Thanksgiving, then we have Christmas, and then we have, so between all those holidays, they're like, do not do it in a holiday, Thanksgiving, holiday, Christmas, and New Year's, I was locked out of a large.
Yeah. No, I was talking about that before.
When did I do it?
You did it 2 days ago.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, it was yesterday? Was it yesterday we did this? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just for your show, honey. I tried to work that out.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I do. But a lot of things were about, just waiting for stuff.
What else were we waiting for?
Well, we're waiting for a couple of things. First of all, I don't want to get too much into this, but we had a paint job done in this house before we moved in.
Yeah.
And
what else besides
paint, I'll tell you in a moment. The guy painted, and he seemed to do a good job, but then didn't realize that there was like too many layers of paint underneath. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to get some money back from this guy, and isn't it funny? He's not responding to my texts. So, wait for that. I'm waiting. I get a message from the Subaru dealers that we bought our car from. And it's sort of like, it's time, it's this many miles or whatever.
Just
this much.
Call them again, they probably
will. But we've been waiting since we bought the car. There's one little issue with the window. It's nothing. Yeah. It's really nothing. But we bought the car. We paid $30-something thousand for this car, or in the process of. And you're like ding and ding. It's a little tiny, ridiculous little pain in the ass, but it should be fixed. Yeah. And they promised to. We bought it. So, but they're waiting for the part. It's been 3 months. They're waiting.
You should do that on camera so they could see it.
They're waiting for the part. And then just yesterday, we go back to a restaurant. Now, Dave loves Chinese food. Dave is Jewish. Dave loves Chinese food.
Waiting, yeah. But they say that in every single review, like, 30 minutes,
There's this local Chinese place that is very close to the place where Joyce always gets her vegetarian food. And the vegetarian food is really, really good. But we go there a lot. So I like to get different things. So while she's going there, I want to call in and get Chinese food, which is pretty good, from this place that's across the street.
David.
What?
If they build the apartment complex there and everybody tries to go, that would be like...
Yeah. So the reviews on this place, if you look on Yelp and places like that, there's a good food, but, they tend to be a little slow with their orders. Yeah. So I'm thinking, got to be proactive. I'm not going to stand there, putting in an order for this and wait.
If you want it for $12.15, say 12. Or if you want it for $12.30, say 12, yeah.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
And that may be the label. Because, we knew we were going to go grab food for her and then get, since we were right there, so, I feel like Chinese we can get from the Chinese places right there. So, let me call again. So about 40 minutes before the thing was, I said, okay, let me have spare ribs, please. That's all, just spare ribs. I call it in, and I'll come pick it up at 12:15.
Yeah, I knew that was the mistake. You should have said noon.
I should have said noon, or something. So, but you figure when you call in an order and they say okay, that's it. They're gonna.
It's not a binding contract. She's just like, whatever, move on. It's not like Ding Hao. I mean that.
But this is a weekday lunchtime. Imagine, let's say I'm in a local office. As I have been in my 9 to 5 years.
Yeah, but then they know. They all probably know.
How do they know? How does she know that I'm not working locally?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, I get there.
Because if we're at an office, you're not going to order just a bag of spare ribs. That's like...
I would. I have.
No, that's true.
So, and I would order their lunch special if their lunch special is special.
We got to go to the Ding Hao because we got to get the bird feeder, too.
Yeah. But their lunch special is essentially like, when you get the food and white or brown rice or fried rice. And it's like, what? No, special usually means they throw in an egg roll or they throw in a soup or extra fortune cookies or something. It's like a special is not, it comes with rice. Thank you. Especially at these prices. But I've eaten there once or twice before. The food is good. And so I call the thing in at like 20 to 12. And I say, come pick up. I'll come pick up 12:15, okay? Okay. I get there at about 10 after 12. And I'm waiting. And the place it's a hole-in-the-wall Chinese place. It's not like a big old
next
restaurant.
time,
It's
why
a
don't you
takeout
try
place.
instead of the Szechuan, like that one?
Yeah.
They have the Hunan, which we saw. They have Bruce Lee. They have Sinchua Taste.
There's 8 different restaurants in a vicinity.
They don't list the...
And it's hard to find their menu, which is kind of a clue. So they don't have a website. They barely even have a Facebook page.
They don't list the Szechuan place. Oh, that's Cockeysville. That's why.
But I'm standing there, and after the first 10 minutes, I'm sitting there, and there's like all these other people, and they're grabbing their stuff, and whether they've called in or they just came in and asked, which I get. Okay, if you come in and you say, okay, can you give me this, and I'll wait. You're thinking, all right, that's going to be 10, 15 minutes while they prepare the order and get it to you, especially during lunch hour.
Oh wow!
Rush
There's
hour
one
time.
called First Choice.
There you go. But I'm for a phone order that I had called in. I waited about half an hour, and I was about to text Joyce. I was literally going to say, you know what, 2 more minutes, and I'm just walking. I'm bailing. But you know what? That you're in that waiting mode. And you're like, if I stay 2 more minutes and I walk out the door, 1 minute later it would have been ready.
When we go to Hopkins, they have Joey Chu's Green Spring. That looks very...
That does look good.
It says retro Chinese eatery known for brunch.
Retro. I love retro Chinese.
Yeah, let's see if I can pull...
Forget Szechuan, forget Hunan, retro. Or as they say, letlo.
No, but look, see, it's got the tea and the...
Yes! Yes!
But it's closed. Let's see. Oh, it opens at noon.
Yes, it's 9 in the morning.
It says old-fashioned setting known for... Chinese dishes and sushi, and it says has a Sunday brunch.
Hello, you had me at food. Actually, you had me at Chinese, you had me at Szechuan, you had me at basically every word.
Yeah, it's very traditional stuff.
But I have my temper thing. So, but I'm keeping a lid on it. I know they're very busy.
Crab cakes.
I know they're crab cakes. I know they're very busy. But, at a certain point, and Joyce is calling me because her food is getting cold. It was ready in 2 minutes.
You to say, don't pay with the credit card,
right, because this wonderful place not only does all these things incompetently, but they also charge 3% if you pay by credit card instead of by cash. So Joyce first reminds me, remember, pay by cash. I'm like, yeah, if my food ever comes, I'll be sure to pay by cash. But that you called it like when I was there 5-10 minutes. Then you called again 10 minutes later because it was like ridiculous.
I merged you with Mommy and you let off every F-bomb. I was like, because I was talking to Mom.
Because when I'm mad, I'm one of those people.
I was more worried that you were okay. I
was fine. But I'm one of those people, when I'm mad, I want the world to know it.
Yeah,
if I'm pissed off, I want to ruin everybody else's day. So I get on the phone with Joyce. I'm like, what does it take? How can they be so incompetent? How you call in an order? How fucking long does it take?
Because you know why? They only have 2 people. You told me that's the thing. So it's like supply and demand. I mean, you could do anything, but it's if you don't have enough people to make your foodies.
Well, the other really irritating part about this place is that the woman who deals with the cash register and takes the orders doesn't stay.
That's why she doesn't. She knows. She's like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna."
She disappears for minutes at a time, and there's literally nobody visible. You don't see the chef. You just see like blankness, and you're standing there, and she hasn't disappeared into thin air. And then she kind of comes back when an order is ready to give to somebody. But it took about 25 minutes to a half an hour more beyond the time. It wasn't like I called it in. And it took a half an hour instead of 20 minutes or so. I called it in 40 minutes beforehand, and it took another half hour before I got the food, which, by the way, was very good. And she was very nice. She was, it's 10:35, but I only charge you 10. I'm like, well, thank you very much. She was very nice. She's a sweetie, and I'll give her that, and I'll give the restaurant that. But, while it's also the mindset of me as this angry little middle-aged Jew person. It's kind of like, I'm never going to this place again. I'm going to give them a crappy review on Yelp and where are the other places? TripAdvisor. I'm just going to say, hell with this place. If I see people trying to come in the door, I say, no, don't go here,
As soon as you eat the food, you're like...
As soon as I'm in the car eating the spare ribs, I'm like, it was pretty good.
First you said these aren't that good. And
no,
then
they
you
were
had
good.
another one, you're like,
Oh, and after all that time,
oh, no duck sauce.
there's no duck sauce. Because in a lot of these restaurants, right where you are, you can grab some duck sauce, soy sauce, ketchup packets, even if you need them. But for this place, is that they hand you the thing. There's nothing to take, no napkins. And one thing I love with ribs is duck sauce. Nothing. So I'm sitting in the car, I'm just steaming. I'm like, I don't even want to eat these damn things, except of course I did. So I opened the rib bag. I'm like, yeah, this is all right. These are pretty good. So I may go back there.
You're doing Fred.
Fred?
These are very good.
Oh, these are very good. So anyway, that's my waiting story for the week. We've gotten so used to in our lives, like, oh, I'm going to order this on Amazon. It's going to be here in 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Boom. Right? We don't want to wait for any. Yesterday, I was on the phone with the place where we got some of our furniture, and I'm on hold. And first 2 times they say, if you want to keep your place in line, you text your phone number or say, is this the phone number you're calling from? And we'll call you back when we're ready. And by 2 times, when the thing had ticked off about 8 or 9 minutes of just ever hold, I'm like, fine, boom. And 2 hours later, they call back while I'm driving. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And at least Joyce was in the car and she could deal with it. But it was like 8 minutes. And I remember back in the day, I'm old enough that you had rotary dial phones and things, and you would call a company and you would call these places. And like 20 minutes, you are 30th in the queue. You are, and 10 minutes were you're 28th in the queue. Yeah. And if you hung up, you just start from zero again, so you can't hang up. But here I am all these years later, and even having the incredible convenience of telling them, you know what, call me back. I'm not going to keep my phone on hold. And to the point where, don't forget, we all have speaker phones. So we can put the phone down and do whatever we're doing. Waiting for someone to pick up.
Cologuard testing.
Yeah, as opposed to back in the day when you had to keep like a phone in your ear, and if you were lucky to have music that played, and literally you would have a crimp in your neck for 3 days afterwards because you were out for a half hour. The phone would be in your neck just waiting, and if God forbid, you should put the phone down and have a pee or run and get a beverage or do something because you knew the moment you stepped away, they'd be gone.
That's what happened when I went for the mammogram. I had to go to the bathroom, and they called me when I was in the loo, and the ladies were like, she's in the bathroom! I was like, please don't leave me.
Well, that was very nice of them to do that.
I know. They were nice ladies.
Well, if you lose your place in line, that's like the worst thing ever. Because then you feel guilty. You come back, and suddenly you looks like you're cutting in front of these other people. But I was here before you! So waiting. It's been a week about the impatience of modern man and woman, and me especially, in waiting for things. But anywho, we don't have too long to wait until our yesterday trivia quiz, which we will be playing with some of our wonderful classic longtime players now. We have Leslie Hoban Blake, who is the co-host of Two on the Aisle. She'll be playing alongside our wonderful David Sheward, who is, we haven't seen that much of him in November and December because he's been so busy. But he's got a 3-day weekend from work this week, and so he will be joining us to play the quiz as he hasn't in a while. Plus, we should have our beloved friend Ronald Rand. Now, it's a trivia quiz.
I wish I had his artsy skills. He has a lot of artsy skills that I admire. I don't have those. He should do a show like Bob Ross, just painting rocks. Like, here's a tiny little rock. We're going to paint a scene on the rock.
Okay. I was thinking that because at the Chinese place I was in, waiting yesterday.
Oh, you could have done rock painting.
Well, they had a painted rock.
Oh,
it was like lacquer painted with a nice little like Happy New Year thing on it. But it occurred to me, wouldn't it be the most wonderful trompe-l'oeil if you took a rock and you painted it to look like a rock?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the best thing ever?
Yeah, I believe that would be fun.
So maybe paint it to look like sort of an igneous, and you paint it to look like sedimentary, right?
Yeah.
I think it'd be sedimentary, my dear Watson. I do. Anyway, I want to remind you that Dave's Gone By has been on the air for 20 plus years. I don't know why, but it's been on the air for 20 plus years. If you like what you're watching, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and you're curious about the history of the show, what I sounded like back in, say, 2003 or 2012, you can go into the archives at davesgoneby.com, DAVESGONEBY, davesgoneby.com, where the archives are free. You got the first 14 years, 15 years of the show that were just audio, because we're a radio show, we still are, essentially. And listen for free or download them. Plus, the last 4 or 5 years that we've been doing these as video, those are all there too. davesgoneby.com. We also put our archives at archive.org. This is a not-for-profit website that collects art and entertainment and literature from 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 years ago, whatever they can get, and share it from old-time radio shows to books. It's an amazing resource, archive.org, and we have our own little channel there, Dave's Gone By. You can find all our stuff there. Plus, if you're a podcast person, go to castbox.fm for just the audio archives of the show. So it's all our shows, but audio only, whether they're back when we were audio only or even the last couple of years when we're a video show. Castbox.fm. And then if you want to write to me, it's davesgoneby@aol.com. davesgoneby@aol.com. So I want to remind you that we've got coming up Colorado Limerick of the Damned. I don't think I even mentioned that Rabbi Saul Solomon will be here reading the newspapers. Hasn't done that in a while.
I just sent you somebody tried to get marijuana through the TSA, and they said it was in a candle, and they said it was a Secret Santa gift. They didn't know.
But why do they have to smuggle? What? It's legal.
No,
sort of. No, not federal.
Yeah, no. So they were trying to take it, and they said, "Oh, it was a secret." So apparently, anything that's contraband, you just say it was a Secret Santa gift.
And you just go, ho, 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 man. It's like, yeah, man, smoke going up the chimney, man. So, so Rabbi Saul will be here reading the papers, and then, and I want to banter with Joyce some more and do Greeley Crimes and Old Times. All of that is coming up, but we have people coming into the Daverhood to play our trivia game. Let's get them in here. We've got, let's hope this works, and let's hope this works. Yeah. Actually, we have...
Who's in there?
Well, we've got Leslie coming, and we've got
great.
Ronald Rand, and then we'll be waiting for David Sheward. So fingers crossed. Here we go. Ronald, I got to turn my audio up and see if he's there. Ronald Rand, I see your head.
Ronald.
Hold on, he's figuring it out. And don't forget, you got to get your audio. Oh, your audio should be good.
He knows. Come on, he's an old alum of the show. He knows how to do it.
He's connecting. He's connected.
He's an expert. He knows.
Good morning, Ronald. How are you? Oh. Whoa. Is it me?
What?
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Good morning to you. How you doing, Ron? How's your New Year been so far?
Oh, it's just been fantastic. Thank you for asking. It's so wonderful to see you. That just makes the new year even better. And there's Leslie.
Leslie, you were fantastic. I'll get to it in a moment. But hold on. But Ronald, so what have you do? You traveled. You did your show. You did some. Where have you been? What you been doing?
Well, I've been all over the place. But actually, I'm getting ready because the State Department has given me my second Fulbright. So now I'm in discussion to go to Turkey for 6 weeks. To do my show over there as Harold Clerman, and also to teach a master workshop for 6 weeks at a major university there. So it's very exciting.
Is it Istanbul or where? Or
your second Fulbright? I can't get over that. Wow.
Well, my first Fulbright that they awarded me, I went to Bosnia and Herzegovina for 6 weeks, and then I went to Malaysia. for 6 weeks, and then to Uruguay for 5 weeks. So I've done 3 already,
Wow.
and
We have a lot of
3
friends who are
postings,
Turkish.
and now I'm
Do
working
you
on my
sublet
4th.
your apartment during this time?
No. I,
That's the
I
one.
just let it air out.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good morning, David Sheward. Hello.
Oh, David. Yes.
Hello, David.
David.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, wait. What part of Turkey, Ronald? Which part of Turkey?
I'll be going to Ankara. All goes well, knock on wood.
Oh,
So I lived
Yeah.
with somebody from Ankara, yeah.
yeah.
How
And
wonderful.
Ankara's away, oh chum. Ankara's away.
Our friend is there now. She's more near Istanbul.
Oh, wow. So
Right, beautiful.
congratulations to, this is Ronald Rand. By the way, let me properly
I think
introduce.
the IQ of the show just went up
Yeah,
about
I know,
100.
Well, now he's got a full bright. Before he had like a half bright. So
Oh.
this is much better.
No, he's a three-timer.
You missed
So-
it, David Sheward. He just got his second Fulbright to take his show around the world.
Well, David, you got
Your sound is off.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh,
There he
good
is.
morning, David
Yay,
Sheward.
the
So-
Shoemeister.
David Sheward is the let's say he's a theater critic and he writes for the David Desk and Cultural Daily,
Cultural Daily, yes.
and he also has a
That's
blog
pretty
called-
good for you to
I guess-
get all of that.
And Theater Life.
Is he tenured? Was he waiting for tenure, or what was the?
We're not talking about that.
Oh,
yeah.
But anyway, it's great to see you back. We had you on our New Year's show.
New Year's show. Right,
It's wonderful. Hey, is there a particular reason, David, sure you're wearing your mask, sort of?
Oh, we have the house apartment is being cleaned today, so we have our cleaning person in.
Okay.
I'm just wearing my mask around her.
he is the masked
Yeah, you are the masked avenger there. Actually, you would figure you should probably wear a mask if a dirty person were there. A clean
Oh.
person, you should not need the mask. It's a dirty person that the mask would be useful for. Now, and Leslie Hoban Blake, you look, I mean, considering what you've been going through the last few weeks.
David, the only reason you can see me is I had my hair done last night. I have a wonderful woman who's been working with me for about 7 years, and she comes to my house.
Yeah, she's done a lovely job, by the way. And
So,
you
well,
look
thank
like
you.
put
So,
together a
so
healthy
that my
household.
hair was down to here. It was all gray in the front. No, it was silver. It gets silver in the front,
Yeah.
which doesn't look good in this color. And I looked like I had dug a hole and forgotten to come out of it, is what I looked like. So
All right.
I had a 6 weeks case of shingles, David.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, and so I went out yesterday like a person, and I seem to be, I have little twinges every now and then, Dave. You know what that's like because you've been through it.
Well, me,
Okay.
I just had nothing. I had years ago.
Well, okay. I have some. I discovered aloe vera. I think I have a cure for not a cure for shingles, but for to aid with the aftercare. I decided to use that because I had it in the house, and man, it just
We should
no
have,
time.
Calmacectin would have worked too.
Maybe,
yeah. We have.
We all know that from,
What did you just call it?
we all know that from crossword puzzles.
Is
What's the
aloe
word?
vera
I
or
don't know what the
Comacectin
word is.
or-
Aloe.
Aloe. Oh, aloe.
Aloe comes up in crossword puzzles quite a bit.
Well, my mother used to have a plant, and she would break pieces off if we got a burn or a scratch. She'd put it right on. But right.
Well, it's also
next to the plant.
for crossword puzzles, it's a wordle thing, like because you've got 3 vowels, and every other word's going to need vowels, so it makes sense to have 8.
No, I use a Jew. ADIEU. That's my
Use
go-to.
the Jew?
It makes no. I use a rise.
Yeah, because
When
I
I'm
get a
doing
J
words.
in there all the time. I
Yeah.
want to make sure I get a
I
J
just
in
have
my
to get
word.
a spoon. Just a moment.
Okay. So we're going to be
I
doing.
need to
Have you
get
been
one.
finding the wordles easier lately in the Times? I've been finding them easier lately.
No, man. I was too, and then I hit Pixie last week, and
Oh,
Pixie.
I must have missed that. I must have
Oh,
missed that.
Pixie freaking killed me.
When I was not well, I didn't do every day. I did the days when my head was clear, trying to make sure my brain didn't fry.
No, but I think that they do a real hard one, and then they get easier for a couple of days.
Oh, is that how? Oh,
So,
thank you. Well, I got the easy ones then. Okay.
Because you never figure there's going to be a Q or an X, and every once in a while they throw those 2 in.
Yeah. Well, I also do Scrabble, and I do a Scrabble game online, and I do crosswords every day. So
Cool.
Amazing.
You're like Sondheim, the big crossword.
Yeah, I'm just like Sondheim. I'm exactly like him.
Well, look, our friend of the Daverhood.
Even the beard, I'm growing.
Our friend, I said this last week. Congratulations to our friend of the Daverhood, cabaret guy Seth Biesenhirsch. He's also a songwriter. He got his first puzzle into the Times. He wrote a crossword puzzle for them like last Monday. So yay to
All
him.
he did was make
Yay
a
to him.
copy and put it in.
My cousin, who's an ER doctor, has gotten 5 of them got 5 in last year. No, to the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, I sent one in crayon to USA Today, and they published it 4 times. So it's pretty.
Right. That's the way it goes. I wouldn't have I tried once to figure one out to make it for little kids. I couldn't even do that.
I
The
find them
making of it is beyond my mind. It's like chess. I don't get it,
Oh, wow. Anyway, we're not playing chess. We're not playing crossword puzzles. We are playing the today, yesterday trivia quiz, which all you guys know how to play.
I have to go like this and stretch my muscles because the master is here today. We haven't seen you in so long, David. We have to see how that works. No offense, but Ron, you know what I'm saying. So I don't have to.
Oh, yes.
And by the way,
Ron is like, I'm a Fulbright. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And by the way, just want to say that Ronald is the publisher of Soul of the American Actor newspaper and also has the book Solo Transformations on Stage about how to do a solo show if you're a performer.
Do you have time to get the soul out these days?
Huh?
Ron, do you have time
yes,
to get
Well, I'm in my 24th year, and it's online. It's Soul, S-O-U-L, Soul
You have
American
it
Actor.
online now. You don't leave it in theaters anymore. You have it online.
Well, I give it out. I have it in
Right.
print as well, so I do
He still
hand it
has
out
it
in
print.
person.
He's still printing it, so it's
Yeah.
just
No, I
great.
used to find it in the theater. That's why I'm asking you. So
Well, I don't get out as much. I mean, I go to the theaters, but I don't leave them there because it's different. I like to give it more personal into hands.
right.
of
I
people.
don't blame you. Makes more sense.
All right, so let's play the today, yesterday trivia quiz on this Saturday, January 14th, 2023. So here's the deal. We have 6 questions plus a tiebreaker. Each question is worth 2 points. But the first thing that we have to do, as always, is ask our wonderful friends here. I guess it would be Ronald first. Can you kindly choose a number between 1 and 6 and tell me what it is?
I'll pick 5 today.
Oh, my favorite number. Ronald with 5. Leslie, are you boxcars?
Oh yeah, please, thank you. Single box.
And
Did anybody win? Did anybody win last night? Is anybody here a $782,000 winner?
Oh boy.
oh, I mean, I
No.
think billion, wasn't it? The yeah.
Well, the billion guy won in Maine up there. They did pick somebody in Maine.
Wow.
The guy who got the billion?
A
He
billion
went
and
the whole distance?
3.5. Yes.
My dad, my real dad. I've been looking for him until his name was in the papers. I didn't remember.
And he lives in Maine. Who thought?
Yeah, taking the car today. Yeah.
Right.
David Sheward, I
And
need
David, you and 300 of his other children were going.
I'll share.
It's like turtles climbing out of the sand, right?
David Sheward, I need a number from you, please.
3.
3. David Sheward with a number 3. Here we go.
Rolling.
Oh my, David Sheward, you got the magic. You're back. Do you want to go first, second, or third?
Let me see. I don't think it. I don't know
Ooh.
because there was something. I'll go. I'll tell you what. I will go third.
Whoa, David Sheward with a big 3.
Whoa.
Let me roll the die again. Let's see what we come up with. 3 again. 2. Who's 2? We don't have a 2. We only have a 2. We have a 1, a 2. Oh, Jesus Christ. 1, 5. 5. Ronald, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Ronald
I'll jump off the cliff.
And I'm a sandwich between both of you. Hello.
Okay, here we go. I don't know what that means. All right. What? Okay.
I just said thank you for that image.
So this means, Ronald, you get the first
You'll
question.
never erase it, will you, David?
Okay.
And interestingly enough, I switched things up today. You get the change one letter.
Oh, he's never
Question.
played it. Has he ever played it?
Have you ever done the change one letter one, Ron?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No,
change
I'm
one
not
letter
sure.
sound.
You'll like it. You'll like it.
It's a fun, thank you.
It's-
It's a fun one.
It's a
Um,
scholarship kind of word. You'll like it.
For the
Okay.
crossword people, it might be more engaging. Yeah.
So how this works
Mm.
is, I'm going to give you an example before I tell the actual thing. I'm going to read a short poem, right? And the poem's going to lead you to two different words. Each of those words is just one letter different from the other. So the poem's giving you clues. You'll think of one and then change one letter and you'll get the other one. Each one is worth 1 point.
Give him an example, David.
Yeah.
David, give him an example.
That's what I'm about to do. So
Sorry.
here we go. Ron, this is for you.
I've been away.
A fake one. All right.
Okay.
It holds any picture you've got. Change one letter and it's hot.
Oh,
Or,
I get it.
Okay.
I know what it is.
good. But
Oh, see, they're all good with these word games. Okay. All right.
Well, do you
okay.
have it you want to try that?
No, but that's okay.
What holds the picture, Ron? Ron, what holds the picture?
A hook, a nail, or something.
It goes
like
into a
wall. Oh,
No, a picture goes into a.
a frame.
all right.
Yes.
It holds any
Okay.
picture you've got.
Just tell them candle. What's related to?
And what's related to a candle, Ron?
A
What does
candle.
a candle have on the end of it?
A wick.
The hot
Oh no.
You're changing
the
one
flame.
letter in the word. You're changing one letter in the word frame.
Frame. Oh. Gosh.
you have a Fulbright, right? Okay.
Yeah. I know. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
Give those to anybody.
Somebody
I know
told
he
me
said
that.
it. I know. Yeah, but it holds any picture you've got. A frame.
Yes.
Change
Uh-huh.
one letter and it's hot. A flame.
And it's hot. Flame. Oh,
Frame.
okay.
Flame.
Oh, flame. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All
Oh,
right.
there's the change of R and L. Got it. Okay.
So
Okay.
each
All right.
one of those would be
Just
worth
so you
1
get
point.
the-
Now, that was not
Okay,
the
so-
real question. This is going to be the real one. Here we go.
Oh boy.
And
Okay.
it was about someone who was born today, January 14th, in 1892. Okay? Born today in 1892. His movies kept a fast and funny pace and featured both Our Gang and Charlie Chase. Change one letter and the answer's a no-brainer to a word that means a mentor or a trainer.
Oh, I know that. I'm sure they've got it. Trainer is. Let's see. It's. I see his face and I can't think of his name. That's so funny. God, it's like I know exactly who it is too. That's so funny. Well, it's like on the tip of my someplace.
Everybody has an Achilles. This is my. It's like I often say, like, this is my kryptonite. This might be his kryptonite.
It could be yours, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I think I know who it is, and I'm trying to remember
You
his
get
name.
1 point. You get 1 point for each one.
Yes,
So-
Yeah.
Yes, Leslie. So if he gets
Well,
one, you get
I'm
one.
gonna have to. I'm gonna. Let's see. He's. Oh God. It's not Busby Berkeley. It's the other guy. The guy who. That's so funny. Well, I'm just going to watch and see and learn because I can't think of his name, but I know who it is. So I'll pass it on.
I'll read it one more time.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll
sure.
pop in your head. His movies kept a fast and funny pace and featured both Our Gang and Charlie Chase. Change one letter and the answer's a no-brainer to a word that means a mentor or a trainer. Still gonna pass?
I knew his name and I could find teacher. Yeah, I'll have to pass right now. It's not coming to me, so I'm not going to hold you up.
SoulofAmericanActor.com is. Yeah. I'm gonna roll the die then. I'm gonna.
That's okay.
Because I know David seems to be on it. Let's see who.
Yeah, I'm sure he
And I
is.
just guess what, David? You're back.
Okay.
For 3.
All right. The answer is Roach and Coach.
The answer is Roach. And
Oh,
are you surprised?
Hal
Who do you
Roach.
think? Yeah, Hal Roach. Very
Hal
good.
Roach.
And
Oh, coach.
a mentor trainer is a
I
coach.
see.
There you
Okay.
go.
Very
Well,
good. Of course he
And
got
I'm
it.
doing Max Sennett, and then what do you get? There's
Yeah,
no
I was
trainer
thinking
there.
of Max
Paul
Sennett, too.
Pollard, and there's no trainer there.
Snub
He's
Pollard. That is the first time anybody said
No,
they Snub
not Snub
Pollard.
Pollard. There was another guy who did the Charlie Chase movies. We had a whole set of them.
Oh,
My
Now,
father had a whole reel of Charlie
my
Chase. I
God.
don't know where they are.
Now, are you
They're
saying
probably
Charlie?
my sister's storage space. What?
What's interesting? So you said, were you saying Charlie Chase?
yes.
Yes.
Who's Charlie Chase? Never heard that.
Charlie
was-
Chase was a guy with a mustache,
Oh,
but instead of being a bum like Chaplin, he was a little dapper guy. He was always
Oh.
getting into trouble running after ladies and whatnot. But he was
Oh.
dapper.
But I
and-
knew it
and
from
he had a
the.
cane. He had a cane, but it was a Fred Astaire kind of cane.
Yeah, I knew it from the
Our Gang?
Our Gang reference.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So by the way, David Sheward, you have 2 points. You're already on the board.
Points, David. Welcome back, David.
What a surprise.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now the next question though goes to Leslie Hoban Blake, who can tie David Sheward if you get this question right.
Mhm.
Sure, just like that. Right. Okay.
And guess what, Leslie?
Three clues.
Oh
in the
no. Oh, son of a bitch.
Oh, what is it?
No, it's just a regular question. All right.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Joyce, you're married to a sadist.
Oh, Sheena. Oh, excuse me. 1 moment, please.
God is punishing you, David.
I died. Joyce will take over the
Yeah.
Okay.
excuse me. Anyway, forgive me. So, this is
I was thinking of poor Lisa Marie this morning.
Oh, yeah.
That poor
You know what?
woman who had.
I'm sorry. I was supposed to interview her a few
Really?
years ago for Long Island magazine for which I write,
Oh.
and I was dealing with her publicist, and he's like, "Well, you can't ask any questions about Michael Jackson, and you can't ask any questions about Elvis Presley." And I'm like, "I'm the
Well, what else is
there? Fuck you! I'm a writer, and it cost me like $200 that I would have gotten for the. So I do not miss Lisa Marie Presley. She can, give
Give it
Bye-bye.
a day or two before you do that.
Here's the
story,
day. She
okay?
died like 2 days ago. Now I can make fun. So, you know how Priscilla felt about the whole thing. Well, she was all shook up. But
Uh,
Oh.
anyway.
He's mean, Joyce. He's really mean. I never realized that. I knew he was.
yeah.
I knew he was
I-
funny in a dark way, but he's mean.
I'm not forgiving, Leslie. That's the thing. I don't forgive.
let's get with the question.
Here we go.
And you
I was
don't
already
forget.
bored. He's like, let's
No forget, no forgive. Right? Okay.
Now, Leslie, speaking of dead people, on Tuesday, meningitis claimed renowned rock guitarist Jeff Beck.
Yes, indeed. How awful.
Records and then solo fame. Beck was known for his versatility, perfectionism, and also quick temper, which led to many of his later projects not lasting as long as they might have. Recording his second solo album, Blow by Blow, Beck seemed to get on well with his legendary producer George Martin, but a problem did crop up when Beck wanted to re-record one of the album's solos. Martin said no, and gave what reason? A. Beck had been working on it nonstop for 3 weeks, and Martin told him, "Enough, I'm sorry, but every single day you lose something more." B. Beck's request came months after the recording sessions, and the album was already in the shops. C. The solo had been recorded by guest guitarist Jimmy Page, and Martin thought it would be insulting to replace it. Or D. The tape had been worn so thin from previous overdubs that one more pass would likely snap it all together.
Those are the greatest questions I have ever heard.
Well, thank you.
They
One
are
of them is true.
absolutely,
Yeah.
any one of them would sound real. Those are great questions. Okay, you're gonna have to go over the questions
Of
again. I
course.
was so busy admiring them that I didn't make notes.
Right. Well, I'll tell
I don't
you,
have a pen.
Jeff
I don't
Beck-
have a
Jeff-
pen. Wait. I have nothing
Sure.
to write with.
Sure.
I have to get up and get something to write with. I'm sorry. Whoa.
While you're, well, okay. By the way, you're watching
Wow.
Dave's Gone By here on the Dave's Gone By Facebook page, and we're playing the Today Yesterday quiz with Ronald Rand, David Sheward, and Leslie Hoban Blake. And we have a question that is all about the late Jeff Beck, who passed this past week from meningitis, a very quick spraying thing. Beck was known for being versatile and a perfectionist, and also his quick temper, which led to many of his later projects not lasting as long as they might have. When he was recording his second solo album, Blow by Blow, he was getting along fine, seemingly, with producer George Martin, but a problem cropped up when Beck wanted to re-record one of the album's solos. Martin said no, and gave what reason? A, Beck had been working on it nonstop for 3 weeks, and Martin told him, enough, I'm sorry, but every single day you lose something more. B, Beck's request came months after the recording sessions and the album was already in the shops.
I love that one.
Well, C, the solo had been recorded by guest guitarist Jimmy Page, and Martin thought it would be insulting to replace it. Or D, the tape had been worn so thin from previous overdubs that one more pass would likely snap it altogether.
Okay, I think it's either A or B, and I can honestly think that he might very well have wanted to record it after it was in the shops. He was that kind of guy. I don't know that Jimmy Page ever played with him, even as a guest. I don't know. The names don't work together for me. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. They just don't. I'm going to say that 3 weeks, just the most obvious one. 3 weeks is enough, and you're losing something each time. That would be, I think, the most relevant for me. If I were a producer, that would be my reason.
Okay, so you're saying the one thing that
Saying A.
You're saying that A, Beck had been working for 3 weeks. Martin told him enough. You're losing every time. Is that your final answer?
I think so. I told you they're all great answers. I love all of them.
Well, thank you, and we love you, Leslie. But we don't love your answer because it's incorrect. I made that up. It's not true. Even though Beck was a perfectionist. So we get to roll the die, and we have a steal opportunity here. Let's see who might steal. 4, no. A 4 again. A 2, no. Leslie, 6. A 5. Oh,
my goodness. Okay.
Yes,
a steal opportunity here.
What's the question?
Yeah, can you read the last one, D, again?
Sure. Well, again, this is why did George Martin refuse to re-record or redo a solo on that album? And D was the tape had been worn so thin from previous overdubs that one more pass would likely snap it altogether.
What is that?
Okay.
Was there a true?
All right.
No, it's
okay. So I'm going to try B. B.
You're saying that it's the reason that Martin said no was that Beck's request came months after the recording sessions, and the album was already in the shops. Is that your final answer?
Let's give it a whirl.
Oh, Ron.
What?
Your answer should go in the shops because it is the correct one. Well done.
Okay.
Absolute true thing. Martin probably would have gone with it, but he said, no, it's in the stores already.
Oh my God.
So, well done, Ronald. You were right. Huh?
Procrastination?
Well, no, it's just he was such a perfectionist that he would call days after the thing, after the student, and he's like, I need to re-record this. I need to do this again. And this time it was just like, you can't.
Maybe he just needed.
And actually, if he lived in these days, they just would anyway. It's been released, and it's like, oh, I'm going to release another version.
That's right. Yeah.
But anyway, congratulations to Ron on the board with 2 points.
Well, give it a shot.
Was it?
Hi.
Which letter was it?
And
B.
So far.
It was B. Well,
B.
I'm in August company. Yes.
Here's the deal.
August?
August.
I was born in August.
Oh, really?
I
So,
was.
David Sheward, this question now goes directly to you. You already have 2 points, but you can.
Oh, come on.
What?
I was joking.
funny.
I'm sorry.
But Leslie had a nice birthday party. We loved her
Oh,
party.
years, yeah,
It
absolutely.
was years ago. My God, because of the pandemic, it feels like it was in the dark ages.
I know. All right. David Sheward, speaking of dead musicians,
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wow.
farewell. Now, see, I don't care about one bit about Lisa Marie Presley. Did you know that Bachman of Bachman's Turner Overdrive died? He just
No,
died a few
when?
years ago. But also, farewell to Australian singer-songwriter Slim Newton,
Ooh.
who died Sunday at
Not
age
Slim,
90.
not Slim.
Slim Newton, that's right.
Mm.
In America, Dr. Demento fans know him by his signature novelty song, The Red Back on the Toilet Seat. But all of the following, oh, it's a great song. But all of the following are also Slim Newton songs except one,
Okay.
which is not. A, Mary's Outhouse.
Hmm.
B, There Are False Teeth in the Toilet.
Oh.
C, The Can. Or D, Something Funny About My Dunny.
He was obsessed with potty humor, wasn't
Not my what?
My Dunny. Dunny.
Dunny.
Tunny.
he? Mm.
All right. Which of those is not?
A Slim Newton song.
Mary's Outhouse. I wrote them down just in case. Mary's Outhouse. False teeth in the toilet. Was that it?
That's There Are False Teeth in the Toilet.
Lovely.
The Can, or Something Funny About My Dunny.
Yes.
Now, false teeth in the toilet. That sounds real.
It happens to us all the
It
time.
leads to
Yeah.
a whole. It leads to a whole thing. There are all these possibilities. All these possibilities with the letters, with the words.
And by the way, I'm not talking about Taylor Swift's song, False Teeth in the Toilet. That's a whole
No.
different.
Or the Cole Porter version. Cole Porter's as sung by Mabel Mercer.
He probably really found them. Yeah.
I think
No, that was my toilet on the 94th floor. That
I
was
think
that.
yes. Down in the drain of the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
I lose my teeth the other night while I was brushing my choppers.
Right.
And the Pepsodent or they slipped a little loose and they fell on my caboose down in the depths of the 90th floor.
You know the second verse? The second verse is the really dirty one. Do you know that one?
I think this is going to definitely be a new musical.
Oh, absolutely.
coming out,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
David
Mabel
Aztec, where are you?
Mercer, Stephen the.
I think
okay, I'm
Mr.
gonna
Newton had
guess.
a very strange affection for a
Um,
particular place in the house. Yeah.
I'm just going to guess and say A. Mary's Outhouse is the false one.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, sure.
Well, David, even though you're in with all of us, I'm afraid your answer is out at the moment because that is one of the songs by the great Slim Newton. So
Oh.
we're going to have a roll of the die here. Come up number 3.
Oh, that's
That's David Sheward again. No, can't do that. 5, Ronald.
Oh my goodness. Okay, can you say the titles again one more
Of
time?
course. Which of these is not a song by Slim Newton? Is it B, There Are False Teeth in the Toilet? C, The Can? D, Something Funny About My Dunny?
Well, I tend to think it's the false teeth because other people have done it and it doesn't sound like him. So I'm going to pick that one.
You're saying it is not Slim Newton's song, There Are False
Yeah.
Teeth in the Toilet.
Yeah. That'll work.
Okay, first of all, I should mention that Taylor Swift does not have a song about false teeth in it. I was kind of joking about that one.
Did you get a note in your ear from the lawyer saying you had to say that? Is that was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Van Morrison also called us like, no, I don't have a song.
But if she had that song, it would be a Billboard hit, right?
Oh,
Absolutely.
But
Kids
by
would run
the way,
around wearing toilets on their neck. Yes.
I have to say, Ronald, I'm very, very sorry, but your answer is as false as those teeth. There is a real song by Slim Newton called
Oh,
There Are False
okay.
Teeth in the
All
Toilet.
right.
What?
In fact, the song is There Are False Teeth in the Toilet where the red back used to be. So it was sort of a sequel song to his classic
Okay.
Red Back on the
Are you
Toilet.
serious?
All right.
Yeah.
And then Mabel Mercer did the cover.
She did.
Right.
Leslie
Okay,
Hoban
so
Drake.
that leaves me, right? You don't have to do
Wow.
any. So it's either The Can or Something Funny About My Dunny. I'm assuming that dunny is some sort of Australian word for what we're thinking it is. And I'm gonna go with the can because it's toilets that he's interested in, not necessarily what's in them.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Is that your final answer?
Wow.
Yes. About defecation in toilets or urination.
Well, Leslie Hoban Blake, no can do because the can is I stumped the panel.
Wow.
I stumped the panel.
Was it done?
Oh,
I made up something funny about my dunny is an Australian word for an outhouse. But
Really?
yeah, a toilet. But I made that up.
I
So
think that's clever like that. David is.
probably
I thought it was a word for something else.
no, dunny is the actual toilet thing. It's the can.
No, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought it meant something else.
Okay.
That's how I got confused.
Your
All right,
education.
so
Your education.
I'm doing very well today. I'm so glad I came.
And may I point to everyone after the show or even during the show to go on YouTube and listen to Slim doing there was a redback on the toilet seat when I was there last night. It is
Where my false teeth used
Great.
to be, is that the way that goes?
That's the sequel. Is it the original one was just about a redback spider biting him on the bum and putting him in the hospital. It didn't really happen to him, but
Oh, it's not its toilet top. It's the redback is the spider.
the spider that
I
caught
thought
you.
the
So
red was his feet.
okay.
no. There was a redback on the toilet seat.
Oh.
I didn't see him in the dark, but boy, I felt his
Wow.
bite. Yeah,
Okay.
classic.
Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Anyway, here's the game. We're finished with our first round, and we have a tie between Ron and David Sheward at, actually Ron Rand and David Sheward. They're not Ron and David Sheward. David's married to another guy. But Ronald Rand and David Sheward,
What are
2
you
points
talking
each.
about?
I have no idea. And Leslie Hoban, like, get on the board. But
Yes, I have a goose egg. Go ahead.
Okay.
we have a
Rub
whole
it in.
round to get to. But Ron, here's the deal. You can break this tie right now if you get this question correct. Are you ready?
Okay.
It's another multiple choice.
Hmm.
1952 was the year, January 14th, today was the day. Premiering today on NBC, it's The Today Show, featuring anchor Dave Garroway and panelist Jacques Lescoulie. But which of these is false about The Today Show?
Ooh.
A. Willard Scott's trademark bit of giving birthday salutes to centenarians was actually started by previous weatherman Bob Ryan. B. Before such Today girls as Betsy Palmer, Lee Meriwether, and Florence Henderson, the very first was Estelle Parsons. C. The concept for the Today Show was created by Sigourney Weaver's father. Or D. Katie Couric did the last official television interview with John F. Kennedy Jr. So,
What was the last one again?
the last one was that on the Today Show, Katie Couric did the last official television interview with John F. Kennedy Jr.
John F. Kennedy Jr. Okay.
So it's which of these is false?
Oh, yes, only one of these is not true.
All the rest of them are true. Okay.
Okay. Well, they all sound really great, but I think I'm going to go with D.
You're going to say it's not true that the last television interview with John F. Kennedy Jr. was done by Katie Couric on the Today Show. Is that your final answer?
Final answer. We'll give it a good shot and see what happens. All the other ones sound so good.
Ronald, I'm afraid you went down in flames just like JF Jr. did. So that is not the correct answer.
Oh, you're terrible today.
I really
Oh
am.
my gosh.
I'm actually terrible every day. But here's the deal.
I don't know about that.
We
Okay.
have, on number 3, David
Okay.
Sheward.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Okay. Now, so it's either the tradition of Willard Scott giving out 100-year salutes was not originated by Willard Scott, but by a previous weatherman named Bob Ryan. Estelle Parsons was the first Today Show girl, and Sigourney Weaver's dad came up with the idea of the concept. Now, I know that B is absolutely true. I know that Estelle Parsons was on the Today Show. I don't know if she was the first one, but I know she was on the Today Show. She had just done, I think she did Happy Hunting with Ethel Merman on Broadway, and then she went into this, or it was around the same time. And I know that Sigourney Weaver's father is Pat Weaver, who was a television executive. And I think he was with NBC. So that leaves A, and I'll go. And I know that Pat Weaver was responsible. I think he came up with the concept of the Tonight Show with Jack Parr, and therefore the Today Show as well. I think he did. So I'll go with A. Willard Scott and Bob Ryan is not true.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Honestly, Ron, you should give one of your Fulbrights to David Sheward because he's obviously
Okay.
he's
That's
the
all.
man.
Today.
He is the man. That is the correct answer. I made that up. Bob Ryan was the first, a weatherman before Willard Scott, but it was
You should have done the NBC chimes with the thing.
Oh, of course, duh.
You could do
Wasn't Weaver's real name Sylvester, and that's why everybody called him Pat?
It was,
Maybe.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Close enough.
yeah, right. But here's now people are getting within striking distance of David Sheward has 4 points. Ron, you have 2. Leslie, no points yet. So this is getting.
I'm just visiting.
You'll come up.
And
I'm
Estelle
auditing the class. I'm auditing the class.
Yeah.
Estelle Parsons is still with us. She's 90-something years
I
old.
know, and she climbed in and out of a window in a bright day called whatever.
Bright room.
Oh, Bright Room called day.
I saw her climbing in and out of a window, and I went, I can't even walk up a staircase if she can climb in and out of a window.
And she is still doing episodes of The Conners.
Yep.
Whoa. Mazel. All
Yep.
right.
So she's still around.
Yeah. No, and she still does occasional theater things. I mean, Bright Room was about 3-4 years ago already.
That was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah. But she still shows up for things. So God.
Everything was about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes.
All right. So, Leslie, this is your shot. If you get this question right, and then you steal the next question, you could actually still.
Isn't he wonderful? He makes me feel like it's actually possible. Go ahead.
You never know. And
You're a real coach. You're
Yes.
a real coach.
well,
Yes.
except for the
You
fact
must know how
Just
Roach
change
goes.
one letter.
that worse than that. Well, yeah. No, Leslie, this is though going to be 3 clues in the news. So here we go. Yeah, you figured.
Oh,
We will get one of these.
yeah.
So here's the deal. Oh, by the way, I gotta write this down.
Yeah.
Okay. Leslie, you know how this works. These are 3 unconnected words, but each connects to the word that we are looking for, and it's a word of something that happened in the news in the past week or so. Okay? You
Nothing happened in the last week or so. I can't imagine what it would be about.
Oh,
You might get this. Okay, Leslie, are you ready? Here are the words coming at you. The clues.
Yeah,
coming at you.
okay.
Ring, hope, baseball.
Oh, that's hard.
That's what she said.
Oh, I know. Don't
Yeah.
overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Please
Sure.
underthink it. Yeah.
Underthink it.
Oh,
Yeah, he got
I think
Well,
I
I haven't got it, so shocked.
it.
think I've got it.
Say it again slowly.
I'll give the clues again. Ring, hope, baseball.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I got it.
All right, so
Yeah.
Leslie, those are the clues. What are we looking for?
The word is diamond.
Woo woo!
Is that your final answer?
It is.
Hmm. And can you even tell us why?
Do I have to? Do I gain anything?
You
by
got
telling
your
why?
points already.
I don't have the foggiest idea of why, to be honest with you.
Oh,
I just
okay.
got the word.
But
I
you are correct, Leslie.
I wrote down Files, Santos, Kennedy. I thought those would be the things that I would be looking for. I don't know anything about a diamond. Honestly, I don't.
But it's
Did the
diamond
whole diamond
ring.
get sold again or something?
Well, diamond ring, hope diamond, and baseball diamond. So you got the word correct. Anybody know why that word?
I
David?
don't know.
Well, I'm saying,
I
any of you guys.
No.
Oh,
I don't know.
David, did you get it? Was that your answer?
Yeah, I thought it was diamond. Yeah.
Both of them. Well, the thing is that horrible woman, one of those twosome on Fox News.
Oh, right.
from Diamond and Silk,
Oh, her.
dropped dead this week.
Right,
So,
right.
Oh,
Is
right.
that a real
Okay.
name or a stage name, like a fake name?
It's a fake name.
Fake. It was
Okay.
Aisha something. So it was Inatha Lynette Hardaway of the conservative commentators Diamond and Silk. She was 51 years old.
And was it COVID?
Oh, that was I'm not sure. Everybody's saying that was probably COVID because she was an anti-vax.
Yeah, I heard that.
Wow.
She had COVID or something, and it was ironic because she said it's all a hoax.
Right. Yeah. And meanwhile, when the Democrats point out, serves her right, or the Republicans, how dare you say that? It's too soon. It's like, fuck you. She ran against COVID.
Who said she deserved it?
Oh, God.
Well, anyway.
Well.
Leslie Hoban Blake, I told you you're
Yeah.
on.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me an easy one. Yes, okay.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
We have one more
At least
question.
I'm on the board, as we say.
Yeah.
If David gets this right, he automatically kind of wins the game.
Okay, all
If
right.
he doesn't, then we have an opportunity for a tie, and all sorts of fun things can happen. So, David, all sorts of nothing's happening.
Yes.
So, David Sheward, this is the last question of the second round.
Okay.
And the year was 2013,
Mhm.
January 14th. Multiple choice. Sworn in as the 50th governor of Indiana today is future Vice President and possible upcoming presidential candidate Mike Pence.
Mhm.
Which of these is false about Mike Pence?
False. Okay.
A. During his 12 years in the House of Representatives, Pence introduced 90 bills and not one of them became law. B. In high school and college, he was very politically active as a Democrat. C. His favorite movie is The Quiet Man. Or D. In his years doing radio, Pence once billed himself as Rush Limbaugh on decaf.
All right, let's see. I know that he had a radio show. So I think D is true. He introduced 90 bills and none of them became law. That's possible. Oh, wait a minute. So we're looking for what's false, right?
Yes, one of these is false.
I'm going to eliminate D. The Quiet Man, it's a John Ford, John Wayne picture, so that's probably true. It's either he was a Democrat in high school or he introduced 90 bills and none of them became law. So which of those is false? I think I don't know. I mean, it's possible he was a Democrat in high school. That's entirely possible. I'll go with no, and we've had a B, a D, and an A. But that doesn't prove anything. I used to when it was all multiple choice.
Yes, but David's you know what David's gonna do, David? One of these days he's gonna do that just to fool you.
Okay.
He's gonna make the answers come out that
Plays
way.
or something.
Layer upon layer of
And we also
Yes,
just have
I
more
think
questions.
so.
We used
I'm
to
gonna
do
go
9
with,
questions because we have 6, but yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with I think it's true that he introduced 90 bills and none of them became law. So I'm going to say it's B, that he was a Democrat in high school. Well, wait a minute. That's so crazy it could be true. B. But I don't think you're going to do 2 A's in a row. All right, I'll go with B. He was a Democrat in high school. I think that's false.
All right. Is that your final answer, David Sheward?
Yes.
Well, David Sheward, as a theater critic, you always get my vote. But in this particular case, I'm afraid that Chad has fallen off. That is not true.
No, he was a Democrat in high school.
Was active,
I'm sure.
volunteering for the Democratic Party in high school and in college, and then Reagan changed his whole tone.
He became radicalized.
Okay.
But here's the deal: the game is not over. The game is a game. So we're going to roll the die. I got a number 1, a number 4, no, a number 3, which is Sheward, a number 6, Leslie Hoban Blake.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
You go,
Hmm.
girl.
The Limbaugh on decaf implies that he has a sense of humor, which I sincerely doubt.
Uh,
And I do think that I think I've read about a bill or two that has his name on it. So I think The Quiet Man is an obvious one, because of Ford and Wayne. So I'm going to say the Rush Limbaugh undecap, which is a great line, but I don't think he was funny enough to think of it.
Is that your?
Yeah, D is my answer. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, Leslie Hoban Blake, you made a rush to judgment, and I'm afraid it is not correct.
Wow.
Okay, Ron, it's on you to tie
Okay.
now.
Ron, yeah.
What answers are left? My
Okay,
goodness.
what's left is one of these is false. About Mike Pence. During his 12 years in the House of Representatives, Pence introduced 90 bills, none of which became law.
Wow.
Or C, his favorite movie is The Quiet Man.
Well, I'll have to go with the Bills one because I would imagine that that's probably his favorite movie. So, okay, I'll try the Bills one.
Is that your final answer?
My final bill, yes.
I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. I wish you had won, but you will not, because David Sheward, by default, becomes our champion.
Wow.
The false one was
Unbelievable.
his favorite
So-
movie is not The Quiet Man. Does anybody want to guess?
Oh,
What his favorite movie is?
A fish called Wanda. Yeah.
No, but you're on the right.
Sound of music. Sound of music.
You're in the right track.
7
but no.
days,
not-
7 days in May.
No,
it's not
Close.
Patton. It's
it's
not
not
Patton.
Patton. It's not Patton.
That was
You're-
Nixon's.
You're gonna go like you're kidding me, but
It's a
close
Wonderful Life.
again.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Close.
Oh, that's a good one.
You're
yeah.
really
Oh,
picking up the right.
Mr. Smith
tree.
goes to Washington or something.
Not political, but great. No, that's
Okay.
Lady and the Tramp.
no.
Oh, Leslie.
Oh, my
I'll give you one or
God.
two more shots.
Oh,
No,
let me see.
North by Northwest.
Ooh.
it's a great film, but no.
Casablanca?
Uh,
Made off the documentary.
Sullivan's Travels.
No, don't get away from
That's political.
social political.
Obviously, it's Psycho. Yeah.
Not into life, but you're gonna.
Ron had a good one. You missed it. Dave, you missed Ron. I'm
What?
trying to get it. Ron had a great one. Tell her to say it again.
I said it's obviously Psycho.
Oh,
What's that
I
one with
knew
the
you'd
Chucky with the little
appreciate
toy
that.
animal that comes alive?
Child's play. No, the answer, and this is going to freak all of you out. And you guys are all in theater, so you know a lot of Friends of Dorothy.
oh, yeah.
Oh, Wizard of Oz. Wizard of
Wizard?
Oz.
Oz.
The Wizard of Oz is
Ah.
his favorite movie.
That's not
Oh.
great.
So is Pets a friend of Dorothy?
No. I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm just saying it made you think of the. But if you think about it, who is more like the Great Oz than Donald Trump?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like and Pence was his.
I was thinking.
Does that make Pence the straw man? What does that make you?
That makes him the guy at the
Toto.
guy who answered the door and with Frank
In the
Morgan,
green outfit, right?
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
who said, "Well, that's a horse of a different color. Why didn't you say so? Come on in."
You know that movie a little too well, David Sheward, but yes.
David is very good.
Also played by the wizard. You know.
by Frank Morgan.
So here's the deal, David Sheward. Congratulations, you have 4 points. You have won the game,
Wow.
but we still
Wow.
have a tiebreaker to do. So we're gonna do the tiebreaker now, and we can do it properly this time with everybody writing down his or her answer and holding it to the camera. After I'll read it twice and give it 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
But congratulate David. What are you gonna do with your winnings from
What winnings?
Say's victory? Oh, there are great lotto style winnings from.
782 or 84 million.
There you go. Yeah.
That's if you take the cash outlay.
So
That's funny.
Ron is getting a pen. Now you guys know how this works. I'm going to read the question once. You're going to write the answer down. Then I'm going to read the question again and give a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and you'll show it to the camera.
You have a matinee today, David?
I'm sorry.
No,
Oh.
no, I don't know.
Well, he doesn't. He's in Maryland. He doesn't have one.
And David, you're allowed to ask the cleaning person if.
No.
I mean,
What?
all right, here we go. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, here's our tiebreaker. That isn't really a tiebreaker question. It's a
It's
fill
a
in
fun question.
fill in the one.
Okay.
Born today, 1944. Okay. In Long Beach, California, born today is this fiery Pentecostal preacher man. He took revival tents by storm and made a bunch of money, but ended up admitting his own hypocrisy in the Oscar-winning 1972 documentary that bears his name. Eventually, he gave up the pulpit for acting, and now he lives quietly in New Mexico. Name him.
You've already got it, David. You've already written it down, right? Of
I think
course.
you had it, yeah.
'The movie was when?
1972 documentary.
I know who it is, and I know I can see his face, and I can't come up with the name.
That's part of the, yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. But I do know who it is. And I'll go, yes, that's it when you say it. And I remember he became an actor. I even saw a movie with him. Oh, I got it. I know who it is. Now I know who it is. Okay.
I don't know David Hare.
Yeah.
You want this?
I just talked myself into it. I know I talked enough about it and it came to me.
Mm. And how about you, Ron? Do you have an answer yet? Do you have
I have an answer, but I can't think of it, but I'm sure everyone else does.
All right, so
Yes.
I'm gonna read the question one more time, and then I'm gonna give a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and whatever you happen to have written down. So, Ronald, if you don't have anything, you put down your website
Mhm.
or take a guess. Take a shot. Here we go. Born today in 1944 in Long Beach, California, is this fiery Pentecostal preacher man. He took revival tents by storm and made a bunch of money, but ended up admitting his own hypocrisy in the Oscar-winning 1972 documentary that bears his name.
I know who he is.
Eventually,
I know.
oh, hold on. No.
Oh wow.
Okay. Eventually, he gave up the pulpit for acting, and now he lives quietly in New Mexico. Name him. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I see one that is correct. I see the M44. Oh my God! Wait, pull back, Leslie.
Jim.
You're so yeah. I'll give you that. And Ron, what did you have on yours? I couldn't see.
I have Sean.
Oh, Sean.
I-
Well, that was
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Shaun of the Dead. Ladies, Leslie, it's Marjo Gortner. You had it. I mean, and
I didn't know his last name. I just know it was Marjo.
you got it. Oh, I didn't think you had it there. Well done. And
No,
David,
when I was talking about it, it came. I finally found the name for the face. I knew it was.
yay!
You can
So
also draw pictures. Tell people.
yeah, you can just draw scraggly blonde hair, and that'd be fine.
Did he make a picture with that? Oh, what is his name now? Tom O'Laughlin.
Probably like one of the Billy Jack
You
things.
mean
he
Billy
did.
Jack?
Billy Jack movies.
Yeah.
Was he in one of the Billy Jack movies?
Yeah,
I think, or did
he
I
was.
just?
I think he was in a
Yeah.
disaster picture, one of the disaster movies.
Well, every movie he did was a disaster, but no. But anyway, Marjo Gortner is the correct answer.
Gortner, that was it. I couldn't.
Gortner, Gortner, Marjo Gortner. Flamboyant, good-looking fella, and so he traded on that and made tons of money. And then, realized he knew it was all a sham. But
Was he Jewish?
because of the name Gortner, I don't think.
Well, also the way he looked, I thought that maybe he was Jewish.
Well, he's an evangelical preacher. So,
Yeah.
I know that. That has nothing. He was a fraud, so it has nothing to do with anything. Whether he was an evangelical preacher or not, he was a fraud.
But anyway, congratulations one more time to David Sheward, our champion. So, David, tell us, remind us, what have you been writing about and working on this, and where can we begin?
Let's see. Well, I have reviews. I did get to some shows lately. I have reviews of Death of a Salesman, Downstate, and Leopoldstadt on Theater Life and Cultural Daily. I did get to see last night the Ohio State Murders, which is closing on Sunday. I'm going to write a review, hopefully before it closes, but even after, I'm still doing a review because I think it's an interesting show.
Okay.
And on the David desk, I've written some interesting blogs about what's coming up on Broadway and the stuff on the Carol Burnett show, and the fact that a lot of cartoon characters the voiceovers were imitations of Lionel Barrymore.
Oh, did not realize that. But I want to ask you, because I haven't been to New York in several weeks. I'm probably not going to get there until spring. So I haven't seen anything in recent times.
The Empire State Building was destroyed by a drone.
No, David Sheward, tell of the shows that if I were a tourist coming into New York, should I see, and I have one slot, should I see Ohio State Murders, Leopoldstadt, Death of a Salesman, or Downstate?
Well, some of them have closed already. So the only one that's still running is Leopoldstadt.
Oh, wait, Salesman closed already? Salesman closed last weekend?
It closes tomorrow.
Oh, all right, well, yeah, all right. So,
Death of a Salesman closes tomorrow, as does Ohio State Murders.
So if I had a slot this weekend.
Yeah, Leopoldstadt is wonderful. It's a wonderful Tom Stoppard play.
All right, Leopoldstadt. So, thank you, David Sheward. Let me ask Ronald Rand. So, I know you're working on that Ibsen opera. I know you're doing what's happening in the next week or 2 or 3 with you?
Well, right now I'm also not only getting ready to do Let It Be Art, hopefully, knocking wood in Turkey, but I'm also been working on actually, I've been working on a lot of short stories, so it may lead to something. So we'll see. I've been writing more, so I like writing poetry, and so we'll see.
Muslim. And if people do want to subscribe to Soul of the American Actor, it's soulofamericanactor.com, right?
No, it's actually just Soul, S-O-U-L, Soul American Actor.
Soul American
just
Actor.
the 3 words.
3 words.
Exactly.
Soulamericanactor.com for all about.
And they can also pick up my book, Solo Transformation on Stage, at the Drama Bookshop or at Amazon or any website all over the internet. Yes.
Solo Transformation on Stage. And Leslie Hoban Blake, now that you're getting out and about, will we see you with Charlie Gross on Two on the Aisle?
I have to be honest, because I had a respiratory illness before I got that. Right. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be allowed, whether I'm going to get a clearance from my doctor or not.
And even if you are, how long before you really feel?
Exactly. So I have to get that. But Charlie and I have, because I got sick when I got sick in the beginning of this, like right after Christmas. No, right after Thanksgiving.
Right. Yeah.
And so we still had to do, we did Leopoldstadt and Death of a Salesman, but we didn't do Raisin in the Sun. We didn't do, what was the first one you said?
Downstate?
No, I never got to see Downstate. I'm really sorry about that. We had to do Raisin in the Sun and 2 others. I can't remember what they are.
The Ohio State Murders?
No, I never got to see that either. I never got to see anything after Thanksgiving. I had a whole slew of things. I had to write little notes to all of the press people. And by the way, if you haven't had your shingles vaccination, please get it. That's an illness you do not want to get. So I'm going to say it on every show, Dave. I hope you don't mind. But we're going to shoot 3 things. One of them is Raisin in the Sun, and one of our guest critics was Perry Gaffney, who, if you saw Raisin in the Sun, played the nosy neighbor who wasn't in the Broadway version. She was only in this version, and she was really, I thought, terrific. I thought she did a wonderful job. So, but yeah. I can't think of the other 2 shows.
Well, but
I have them written down. But
yeah, people can go to the Two on the Aisle channel on YouTube and watch segments and also older full-length half-hour Two on the Aisle shows with our friend Leslie Hoban Blake and Charlie, who everybody saw on our New Year's show. Happy, Les, one more.
I was just going to say, and Charlie is doing some 1-minute reviews, which are very cogent. I don't know why we have to bother doing the whole thing if he does it all in 1 minute, but that's just, he does a really cogent job of saying what the play is about, or what he thinks, the best part of it is. And, because we're all writers, when we have to we just have to verbalize without writing, sometimes we lose something we'd like to say.
It goes on for 12 minutes, but we could have said.
The good word gets away, and then you think later on, I should have said, see, I want to do the Jeff Beck thing. I want to wait till it's up on YouTube. And then I tell Charlie, no, Charlie, I wanted to say Italian instead of Italianate. So let's go back and fix that, But anyway, whatever.
I
I
used to
won't
be able
do
to do
that.
that with the show because this show was on radio for 15 years, and it was just I go on
Oh,
Audacity,
yes,
I
of
could snip
course.
and take out pauses and ums and uhs, and I don't even bother. I can't.
We do that. We do that. We do that for the audio part because the audio track is different from the video track. He has a wonderful editing set.
Cool. All right.
He
Well,
does.
guys, it has been absolutely wonderful to see you. We hope you all come back. I know, David, you probably won't be back with us until spring, I'm guessing. Or you can
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
you can let us know. Or
Well,
if you
once he wins, it gets in his blood, and then he goes, try to win again next week.
the victor. But it's wonderful to see all of you. I hope you have a fine and healthy and terrific week. It's great to see you. Happy New Year one more time to Ronald and David. As they throw kisses, we're going to let you go. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
And farewell to you. Go.
Bye, Joyce.
Bye, Leslie. Have a good one.
And we are back here. Well, we never left. The Dave's Gone By show. It is 11 in the morning Eastern time here in the Daverhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz, the producer and host of Dave's Gone By. This is our 877th episode of the program. We're calling it Worth the Wait. I hope it's been worth the wait for you. We're not done. We got still more to do on this episode here live, coming to you from Northern Maryland. I want to thank our guests so far for being on the show, but we still have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We got Rabbi Saul Solomon coming in to read the papers because he found some Jewish-oriented newspapers and things that are going to be a lot of fun. And Greeley Crimes and Old Times. As a matter of fact, Hunter, are you feeling criminal, or should I bring the rabbi in first? Which would you prefer?
Whatever you want, David.
Well, let's do Greeley Crimes.
I'm ready.
Let's do that. So here's the deal. Let me sit up a little bit.
Okay. Oh.
I'll push this back a little bit also, and move this. For the specialness that is Greeley Crimes.
Look what I can do. Watch what I can do.
What can you do? Hold on. Make it like a police.
Can you see it on the thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Except I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, pardon me. I have that sunlight disease.
You do.
Okay.
Photosnesia.
Greeley Crimes and Old Times has to do with two columns that are in the Greeley Tribune newspaper. One of them is about phone calls of people seeing weird things going on in the neighborhood and calling the cops. And the second one is things that were in the newspaper literally 100 years ago. We mix them up in Greeley Crimes and Old Times. Ladies and gentlemen, so to Greeley, Colorado we go for some criminality and some nostalgiality. Let's begin. And we're only doing one or two crimes because they're still, it's just so sad at the Greeley Tribune that they can't post the crimes. They haven't been doing this since mid-November. So it's kind of like they're dwindling.
So you gotta just preciously use them.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do one. I'm gonna do one criminal crime thing.
But they have the new crimes, right?
Well, the Old Times are keeping coming. Mike Peters is on it.
Isn't that, maybe
it's the cop log that they don't have.
So why don't they get him to do the other one then?
It has to do with their feed. It's not like the actual doing. It's anyway. Yeah. So, but we do have one or two
By
crimes.
the time they finish with the Old Times, it'll be tomorrow. Yesterday.
That's right. We'll get to the 100 years. A caller.
Wait.
Okay. Hello? On 29th Street reported people running around naked at the park and threatening to kill people. I ask you, with what?
That's a bad cult.
Yeah. But I mean, I figure, okay, there's nothing they can be carrying.
No, but running around naked, I mean, might attract, threatening that.
But it's like, oh, no, I have a knife.
That's
Hold on!
It's like that smash guy we saw.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't naked with his chainsaw or
clothes.
his machete. All right, let's do one more. No, I'll save the other crime. I'll do some old time things.
Okay.
Here's an advertisement, by the way, from 100 years ago. This was in the papers back in 1923. So it was like a classified ad. I have an Oakland Roadster.
A what?
An Oakland Roadster Auto.
Oh, wow, an auto.
Just overhauled, runs fine, good tires, new paint, looks good. We'll trade for hogs, spuds, or corn.
Ooh, uh-oh.
I know. Careful with
I'm not taking that one.
Yeah, no, definitely do not. You're gonna trade for me? No, I'm not gonna. I would never trade you for maybe a Beamer. No, Daddy, no! I'm kidding, Potato.
Uh-oh.
Would never do. But would you trade a car for spuds and corn? I mean, how starving do you have to be?
Maybe it was a famine.
Yeah. Well, I do love that we've been doing these so long, for about 6 or 7 or 8 years on the show, that when we started, cars were kind of this rarity versus
They were
horses.
automobile, yeah.
And now some guy has a used Roadster.
Yeah.
It's like the times, they go so quickly in the centuries. Ms. Marguerite Collins, a teacher at Gailton School in Weld County. Oh, wait, no, you're going to like this.
I don't have the whistle anymore.
It's all right. Miss Marguerite Collins has been named. Oh, that's awful. It just sounds like a sow.
Maybe that's one of the things you...
Yeah. Miss Marguerite Collins has been named the veritable fairy in the land of Christmas.
Oh.
A special day for the students. Many classes had electric lights. Others had cutouts of miniature Santas decorating their rooms.
Oh.
I guess, you know, more likely over those years that there were a bunch of priests who were veritable fairies in the land of Christmas.
I don't understand why the teacher was made that. Usually it's a kid, right?
I don't know. Maybe, you know, some teachers who are like a little too into it. We'll make her the fairy. We'll just, give it to her. Yeah.
Like, we can't pay her anything, so let's make her.
Hey, speaking of schools, the Platteville High School basketball team was successful in beating Hudson 28-6.
The river?
Talk about a low-scoring basketball game. It's like how much shooting did they do to get like even though Victor got only 28 points.
Is that bad?
Well, I mean, a modern whatever basketball game, you generally it's like 104 to
These are kids.
97. Yeah. Oh, until everything became about free throws, but or 3-pointers. Hudson did not show well in their teamwork and were not accurate in their basketball shooting. It's like, this is the analysis of the game. Like, the team lost 28-6. They did not show well in their teamwork and were not accurate in their shooting.
Mm-mm.
This is pretty much why any team loses.
That's like a generic, yeah.
By the way, I don't know how I feel about this, but women are gaining more respect around the country. Oh boy. It says, this is back from 1923. Women are aiming higher now, except one woman who lowered herself to shooting her husband in the leg.
Wow. Oh, I don't have I used to have a gun.
Oh, no. Oh, there you go. Hey, it works. So yeah. I guess her husband probably respects her a lot more right now. Yeah.
That must be an ouchie.
That probably is. It is kind of weird that basically every single person we're mentioning is dead.
Yeah.
Everything. And if you're talking about a tiny little baby, it's a possibility.
Sometimes, David, I think when I watch my Miss Marple, all those actors are gone.
Oh, they're all, they're all.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, the Marple woman, those people are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Not the younger actors, because your Marples are from 1970 something.
No, not the
or
original
80s.
Marples, not the cute little Marple woman, but the old Marple.
Even those are still from the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like if you have a young someone in their 20s,
That's
probably alive, well, and acting. Scott.
Why do you have my garbage can in your room?
It's my garbage can.
There's my garbage can over there.
Oh, I was looking for a place to perch Potato. Yeah, it's a living room garbage can, but he kept falling into the garbage because it's tilted. Yeah.
Aww.
So I tried. I did try. Scott of the First Methodist Church of Greeley said the first week of the new year will be the beginning of selling souls to the devil.
Ooh.
He urged everyone to attend the daily services of the church the first week of the new year. Yeah.
That sounds kind of grim.
Well, after the holidays, there's a sale.
Oh, you get like a half-off sale,
Yeah, half-off soul sale.
Mm-hmm.
And those soul sales sell well. She sold soul sales down by the seashore.
I can't do that.
She did. Oh, yeah. To Sal. Sal went to the soul sales and got some souls.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He sealed the deal. He sealed those souls that were sold.
I see.
Yeah. Nicely done. Speaking of religion, the First Christian Church of Greeley was destroyed by a Sunday morning fire that started in the furnace just after Sunday school ended for the children.
Wow.
Damage was estimated between $5,000 and $40,000.
That's a big.
Insurance adjusters were pretty loose back then. It's like somewhere in the five, and back then, it's a smaller swing now.
Yeah.
$35,000 in modern money is $35,000. $35,000 back then is worth like $100,000.
Maybe they were trying to sell the soul of the adjuster. They had to figure out.
Yeah, wondering about that. Let's do an elsewhere. Because what we do on Greeley Clams and Old Times is also we find the occasional story that is not from Colorado, but further afield. There we go. We go all the way to France for this weird story, as reported by the New York Post.
Oh God.
This one is up there, and you should, of all you this week, will commiserate, if you will.
Disturb me, I'm sure.
A French hospital. This was real. This was in the papers last week.
I'm looking it up to make sure you're not lying. Okay.
A French hospital was partially evacuated Saturday after a senior citizen arrived with a World War I artillery shell lodged in his rectum.
What?
I will repeat that. The hospital was partially evacuated Saturday after a senior citizen arrived with a World War I artillery shell lodged in his rectum.
What happened?
Well, the 86-year-old patient visited Hospital Saint-Mousse in Toulon to have the antique explosive removed, which sparked a bomb scare. Said a hospital spokesperson, quote, an emergency occurred from 9 until 11:30 p.m. on Saturday evening that required the intervention of bomb disposal personnel.
Why did it go up his tushy?
Well, the evacuation of adult and pediatric emergencies, as well as the diversion of incoming emergencies, we took all precautions. Bomb disposal experts at the scene determined there was little possibility the shell would explode inside the man. Quote, they reassured us and said it was a collector's item from the First World War used by the French military, said the hospital. Stunned doctors subsequently began removing the object, which measured almost 8 inches long and more than 2 inches wide, from the man's rectum. They believe the pervy patient inserted the item up his anus for sexual pleasure. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why would people do a flashlight or a light bulb? People just do.
No, but it's a bomb.
Well, it's a World War I.
It's still an explosive.
Said one doctor at the hospital, quote, an apple, a mango, or even a can of shaving foam. We are used to finding the unusual objects inserted where they should not be. But a shell, never!
Of course.
Medics were forced to take the elderly man into surgery, cutting open his abdomen in order to remove the relic. He is now in good condition, or good health, and expected to make a full recovery. And of course, since this was on the New York Post, they had their share of comments underneath, which included, whatever happened to a good old-fashioned gerbil? This is my favorite. Love truly is a battlefield.
Oh, Lord.
I guess in the war he was a tail gunner. And that was actually very clever. Guess this was a dirty bomb. And finally, well, my other favorite, fire in the hole. So there you go.
That's horrible.
True story from the pages of French newspapers first, and then from the New York Post. Yes, yes. Anyway, we're doing Greeley Crimes and Old Times here on Dave's Gone By live on this Saturday morning, January 14th, 2023. Let's do one or two more old-timesy things and then move on to the rest of the show. Wanted to let you know, did I read all of these? I got the last one. Yeah, I did. Here we go. In southern Guinea, the greatest luxury that can be placed before a guest is a pot full of roast boa constrictor steaks.
Ugh. Why would you eat that?
Well, why wouldn't you? I guess if you like snake steak in New Guinea, you might. I think I take that sooner than some New Guinean trying to give me his tube steak.
Yeah.
Anywho, persons, by the way, who eat high gluttony meals in Germany are look at this. This is 100 years ago, and they're writing this in the papers. Persons who eat high gluttony meals in Germany are adding fat to their bodies, according to the German government. Therefore, high gluttony meals will now be taxed an extra 25%.
Wow.
Who knew Mayor Bloomberg was in Germany in 1923?
Wow.
Actually, I just get the feeling that they were in such economic depression at this point that it's like, we have to tax something, fat people. Yeah. And that's how Hitler arose. And then finally, one more. I don't know if you knew this. This is true. This is also published in 1923 in the Colorado newspapers. When first introduced to America, men would not carry an umbrella. By the way, men were not first introduced to America in 1923. It was umbrellas. Wow. They kind of needed a grammarian back then. But no, men would not carry an umbrella back in the day because they were considered, quote, an effeminate product. It wasn't until years later that men agreed to carry one in a rainstorm. And I don't know if you know this, but it wasn't until 1947 that the strap-on dildo with tickler was accepted as a manly device.
Oh, so, Lord have mercy.
Yes, the Lord indeed will have mercy on our souls. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Greeley Crimes and Old Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi.
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Thank you, Groucho. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is a little after 11 in the morning Eastern Time. You're watching Dave's Gone By. For more information about the show, go to davesgoneby.com or this Facebook page. For the archives, go to davesgoneby.com or archive.org, or for the audio archives, castbox.fm. We also have a YouTube page. Dave's Gone By is the name of the YouTube page. Tons of places to read about and see the archives and see the photographs of so much of the thousands of hours of programming that we have done for this show over the past 20 plus years. Well, one person who has been on this show from the very, very, very beginning is a Jewish person, not just me, but Rabbi Saul Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Rabbi Saul was on our very first episode giving tips about women's self-breast exams and other things about the holidays. And ever since, he's done bunches and bunches of our interviews. He's done rabbinical reflections. And then in recent times, he's also begun going through the newspapers. Now, this was easier back when we were all out on Long Island because there were all these Jewish-oriented and even Orthodox Jewish newspapers coming out in the 5 towns. Well, we're away from there, unfortunately, so it's very tough for the rabbi to do that. But occasionally, he comes across some Jewish stuff, old and new, that he wants to share with you. As a matter of fact, there's one other thing I wanted to show him that I should have, and I think I forgot to. Hold on. if I can find it. Oh, come on. So slow today. Here, this is good. Give me a moment. Ooh, this is really loading slowly. I don't know why. Talk amongst yourselves, kindly. Here, come on.
What do you need, honey?
Oh, I'm trying to open the something for the rabbi to look at.
Okay.
He'll try and find it when he can. So I hope he does. Maybe not. All right. Anyway, Rabbi Saul is going to be joining us. I'm going to play his music, and then he will be with us to share the readings that he's been doing from some local Jewish publications. Don't go away.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Oh yeah. Oh, shalom, my friends, shalom, my enemies. This is your old pal, Rabbi Saul Solomon, founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York, and I'm thrilled and delighted to be here with you early in the new year, early in the Jew year. Well, no, Rosh Hashanah was months ago, but I'm here because what I'd love to do is share with you where I go through things in newspapers that are geared for the Jewish population. I like to share them with you, the joy, the depression, all the things that go into being Jewish. So first of all, this is kind of fun. This is the opposite. I'm going to first explain to you what is not Jewish, so that then you can go and see, what is obviously is Jewish. So Dave, the producer of this program, and his wife Joyce, they live in this lovely house in Maryland, and in the mail they get a letter from a neighbor. Who we're not going to say the neighbor's name during witness protection, I'm sure. But this neighbor that they don't know, that they have never met, sends a handwritten letter. And by the way, does anybody still use loose leaf paper? This person does. Mails it with a brochure to make sure that they are on the right path. Let us read this which is to, by the way, the previous owner of the house or current occupant. Let's see this lovely letter. Handwritten yet. Here we go. Hello. My name is... I hope that, by the way, her name is actually... I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I hope this letter finds you and your family. Notice it doesn't say finds you and your family well. I hope it finds you somehow. Yeah, it found the other family. This is good. The purpose of my letter is to point attention to God's Word and the Bible. No, God's Word, the Bible, as an excellent source of comfort. Okay. Now, if you're Jewish, you know there's nothing comfortable about the Bible. He's an angry God. He's a jealous, vengeful God. Nothing remotely comfortable about that. Today, as world conditions worsen, more are suffering the tragic consequences of both natural disasters and man-made problems. Totally get, but that's totally Jewish. I get this. Enclosed is a tract, as opposed to a tractate. A tract titled, Will Suffering Ever End? See, Jews don't need this because we know, absolutely no, we're stuck with it. This is the life condition of Jewish people. So don't tell me that it's going to, you're lying. Don't send me this shit. Here we go. But will suffering ever end? It highlights scriptures that give assurance that God is not the cause of suffering. God feels for individuals' plights. By the way, individuals should be S apostrophe, not apostrophe S. What can you do? The schooling around here. And most important, God gives hope that all suffering is soon to end. From your mouth to God's ears, except God isn't listening, because God is a vengeful asshole. All right. To obtain additional information on how God will end all suffering. She underlined it again, the word all, in capital letters. All suffering. You know, God's going to end all suffering. He's going to kill us all in the next giant Holocaust thing. And when there are 3 horsemen, they're apocalypsing across the world. Oh, you know, hey, everybody, you know, you've been suffering so terribly, and your diseases and your crime and your this. Ending, so oh, you're also going to die. You're going to die, and this will end your suffering. Mazel tov. Thank you. Thank you, God. Anywho, please visit www.jw.org. Now, this should be there an E in there, and you got me. Jewish. All right, now it's probably the Jehovah's people. You may also contact me at gmail.com. Enjoy your day. Well, it's nice. It's nice that this isn't Pentecostal. You're going to die horribly if you don't do this, or you have to roll around the floor and pray. At least it's a happy thing. It's like, you know what? If it's miserable, maybe God can help you. So they send this stupid little brochure to learn more without cost, because, you know, they got to hook you first before they soak you. I love the idea that there's assurance that God does not cause our problems. From James the First, or not James, King James, James, Volume 1, Chapter 13, which I've never read because, you know, I don't read that shit. Assurance that God does not cause our problems. It's like, okay, so God, who supposedly wrote the Bible, is assuring us that he didn't do so. But, you know, it's a bunch of old guys wrote the Bible to assure us something. This is their proof. They're telling you this. Oh, we're telling you. It's not God's problem. Believe us. We're telling you it's the truth, so therefore it's the truth. Comfort from knowing that God feels for us when we suffer. That's from Zechariah there. And then there's a psalm. Hope that all suffering will end. I'm sorry, ma'am. Hope is not proof. Hope is not that suffering will end. Hope is just the thing that gets us through suffering so we don't put a bullet through our heads. Anywho, thank you for sending this garbage. But it's happy, it's nice, well-meaning garbage, which is really the best kind of garbage you can get. Okay, we have more things. This is a magazine that was at the local hospital chain that they have here in Maryland. I'm in Maryland. I'm not in Great Neck at the moment, just so you know. But in Maryland, they have this thing called, instead of Baltimore or B More, J More. J More, because this is what Jews think of as hip. Until, you know, a week from now, he gets a broken hip, and then that's much more Jewish. But this is truly a Jewish-ish magazine that you can pick up along with everything else locally here in Maryland. It's put out, I guess the idea behind it is there's Jews, they get sick, lots of us, and then they go and they get checked out at this institution. Let me remember, it's actually what is it called? It's J More. Don't really tell, but you can tell from the table of contents there that yes, this magazine is specifically for my people. So let's see a couple of things that are so obviously beautifully Jewish in the J More magazine. For example, let's see. Get your pens and pencils out. Here's the advertising that I kind of like to see. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, do you need a certified mohel? One who doesn't bite off the tip with his teeth? You want to go for this guy right there. That's a happy looking baby. And a not quite so nervous father. Yes, if you need a mohel, this is the person to go to. All right, they get funnier. I think they get funnier. Let's read this. This is from the publisher of this magazine. His name is Scott Rifkin. Nice, classically Jewish middle-aged guy. A Light in Winter. I don't know why I folded this down. Oh, I know why. Here we go. It is winter, but you know how magazine publishers and editors-in-chief, they do these things in these glossy magazines, and they always have a page to themselves where they do something inspiring, or they write about life in general and try to give something nice to people who are reading. This is the definition of Jewish if you're publishing an article in your own magazine. It is winter, and the short days usually depress me. Yeah, this is the way a Jew goes. And me, it's not like, oh, there's hope. Oh, there's an end to suffering. Oh, God doesn't want us to suffer. No, this is real Jewish. It is winter, and the short days usually depress me. I hate waking up before sunrise and driving home from work in the darkness. Has Dave not said these exact same things? When you're Jewish, you immediately go negative. This is the way to go. Typically, this time of year, I start to envy my friends who have moved to Florida. Oh boy, is this Jewish.
What did I miss, Rabbi?
Oh, this is just the greatest thing ever. But this year, I am joyous. Oh, why? This year is different from any other recent year. My faith in my fellow man has been renewed. Yes, sanity has been vindicated, and the nation has decided that democracy is worth saving. So it's actually getting surprisingly political for this kind of journal
I thought
thing.
you were talking about someone going on vacation to Florida.
He was saying, to recap, he was saying that he's usually incredibly depressed this time of year.
Okay.
But he's happy, and it goes on to say, because of the midterm elections did not swing far right, which is interesting.
Why is he talking about that being a snowbird?
Because he's Jewish, because he can, because he publishes this thing. The unholy alliance between the evangelicals and the conservative movement took a beating on Election Day. The concept that all elections won by Democrats must be rigged was repudiated, that the Christian Sharia law enthusiasts were turned away, even in deep red states, as they tried to control women's bodies. So this is not a Hasidic paper.
Oh my God! Where's this going?
This was in the lobby of Johns Hopkins. It's Seymour. So mazel to this guy. And by the way, we know when he's writing things like this, if he's happy, he's having a tall, frosty glass of his own urine. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Zadie's Lager. Oh yeah, this is real. No gimmicks. Never trendy. Of course, it's not going to be trendy. He's an old Jewish man. It's Zadie's Lager. And by the way, they spent weeks on this motto: a beer made for drinking. A beer made, as opposed to a beer made for painting your shed.
What else did you do with the beer?
It's not a beer made for doing colonoscopies. It's just a beer born and brewed in Baltimore. Oh, it's actually a local thing there. This is nice. By Union Craft Brewing. I'm going to try a Zadie's Lager. I love this. This is wonderful. Let's see if there's more in this magazine. I think I folded down one or two more things to share. Yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. What else? Oh, yeah. And then you get the things that are like, no. Even though, as I've shared many, many times before, you can't write anything Jewish. You can't have a conversation between Jews for more than 5 minutes without somebody bringing up the Holocaust. It's just de rigueur. So here we go. Let's have this nice lady here. Let's see what this article has to say. Making a comeback? Spirituality author Sarah Yocheved Rigler recently spoke to a local audience about reincarnation and the Holocaust. Where is this woman going? After World War II, were the souls of the victims of the Holocaust reborn into new physical bodies? Shut up! You're as crazy as the evangelical ladies. You don't know. You can't possibly know, you idiot. However, this is the question that Sarah Yocheved Rigler raised on November 29th when discussing her latest book, quote, I've Been Here Before, When Souls of the Holocaust Return. Weirdly enough, they returned to Zabars.
Whoa.
Had no idea about that, yes. It's from Menucha Publishers at the Doubletree, but she held this in Pikesville, not surprisingly, at the Doubletree Hotel, or the Double Etz Hotel, I call it. The event was presented by the Etz Chaim Outreach Center for Jewish Studies in Park Heights. This woman, she's 74 years old, born in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, has written 7 Jewish spirituality books. She didn't have any immediate family members who survived or perished during the Holocaust. She's 74. She was just barely, anywho, Let's see if I can find anything more funny in this. But as a child, I had this very strange hatred and anger towards everything German. I wonder why. There's nothing strange about it, honey. You're 74 years old. You were born in what, the 1940s?
Yes.
And Germany had basically tried to wipe out our entire people. There is nothing strange or weird about hating Germany if you're a Jewish child. I hate them now. Anywho, I would not buy a German product, would not take a ride in a Volkswagen, and would not let my father take my picture when he bought a German camera. I don't know where that came from. Yes, we do know where that came from. It came from Auschwitz and Belsen and Majdanek. Read somewhere you went to a school thing, you went to a Hebrew Sunday school, and they showed you the movies of bodies shooting out of the ovens and things, and you're like, Germans maybe not the nicest humans in the world. Maybe I'm not gonna buy a Mercedes Benz. But later, Rigler came to a conclusion about the origins of her anti-German sentiments. Quote, I understand that the idea of reincarnation was the only thing that made sense to me, that I had lived and died in the Holocaust.
Wow.
With that Plume of hers, she didn't really relive, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
I mean, the woman said she did not reveal this opinion to anyone until about a decade ago. No, because they were going to lock you up. They were going to put you in a rubber room and with a big sign of Arbeit macht frei. You make plates. What would happen? Oh, she revealed it to a close friend, and then to her surprise, the friend told her she also believed she had died during the Holocaust. When her mother would put her to bed at night at the age of 4, she would look at the pillow and have this waking vision of being in the back of a truck with all these other women. And some of them were collapsing on the floor, and she saw herself rise up out of the truck and say, now I'm free. Yeah, I don't even know where to...
A lot of people have that, collective unconscious or regressive.
It's a collective dream thing. It's not...
I don't know.
No. I'm sorry. No. Why the Holocaust?
You said you were Bridget Bardot in a past life.
Well, yeah. Look at these boobies. No, bad thing about it. Why? How come nobody's saying, I was burned at the stake for being Jewish back in the Crusades?
People believe that they were Joan of Arc and all those people too, I'm sure.
No. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I could be technically Abraham Lincoln reborn. I could be George Lincoln Rockwell reborn. Our eras coincide, but you know what I'm saying. This is nonsense, honey. This is just like fake belief system stuff. It would be 2 decades.
Maybe she has a memory. Sometimes, people tell you a story and you remember it. Maybe somebody told her a story so vividly that or she might have watched a video or something.
When she was a 3-year-old, when she was a 4-year-old, that's what lodged in her conscience. It would be 2 decades before Rigler learned that the Nazis' first experiments in mass murder was to put people in the back of a truck and pump carbon monoxide gas from the engine back into the back of the truck. So Rigler would spend the next 7 years researching the subject. In time, around 450 people born after 1945 answered her online survey acknowledging that they experienced dreams, phobias, flashbacks, panic attacks, and occasionally the giggles, and other occurrences during a past life in the Holocaust. And another 100 people sent her emails stating the same sentiment. I'm sorry, I'm just, I'm proud that we have a magazine about Jewish life, but this kind of stuff, no. Why couldn't I be Howard Hughes reborn with the money? Okay, if I believe it, maybe it's true. Maybe it'll happen. And by the way, see, I get that this Rigler woman is Jewish, but did you know? Now I want to share this because the NBA has become the hub at this point of black anti-Semitism in America. I don't know why. I don't know what it is with Kyrie Irving, and he's dealing with the Kanye West, and just somehow there's been this blossoming of what used to be the crazy black Israelites standing outside Citibank has now become the front face of how black people are thinking about Jewish people. It's mind-boggling. However, we do get one back. Former basketball star Amare Stoudemire tells a local audience about his personal Jewish journey. He's speaking in Pikesville, big shock again, and talking about how disappointed he is in these comments by Kanye West and Kyrie Irving. They say, understanding history about what you're posting and research what you're posting before you actually press the send button. This guy is a philanthropist. Remember, this guy's name is Ari Stoudemire. This is how he looks. He's a black person there. He is a philanthropist, author, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, kosher winemaker, an Orthodox Jew.
You should have him on your show. Right
I would love it. Oh my God, that
maybe
would.
you could get some free,
He spoke in front of 600 people at Beth Tfilah about his Jewish journey. He was raised a Baptist, and then he would find his mother, Carrie, praying late into the night. She suggested he reconnect with the laws of Moses. So he was keeping the commandments, blah, blah, blah. This is just kind of nice. This is just like the antidote to the Kyrie Irvings and those people of this world who should all die in a horrible fire. But not Amare Stoudemire. Oh, no. Oh, no. He should die in a wonderful, cool fire. No, I'm kidding. He should not die at all. God bless him. And speaking of God, how about this? Windows of the soul. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, much wisdom is to be acquired by studying the windows of our synagogue. Let's see where this goes. I hope this is funny. When our preschool children at Beth Tfilah visit the main sanctuary, it's always fun. We look at the Torahs, we marvel at how the Ner Tamid, the eternal lamp, is always kindled, and we even observe the different shapes around the room and count the windows. I'm telling you, just trust me on this, this is a lot more fun for the adults than it is for the children. The children, oh, look, children, let's count the windows. Children are like, are you kidding me? I could be playing Dungeons and Dragons right now. We're counting fucking windows. But no. It's cute. It's fun at Beth Tfilah. As we look out the windows, I often share with them that the shul windows not only look nice, but they are mandated by Jewish law. While the discussion with the children usually ends at that point, there remains much to be learned for all of us about interpretations of the law. And then he talks about Daniel. So why are shul windows so important? The Talmudic commentators, oh, here we go. Jews can find 5 commentary about everything, including windows and shuls. For Rabbeinu Yonah, it's all about light. When there's light, we see each other, the contours of the room and our sidurs. This allows for more intentional davening, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but for Rashi, we love Rashi of the 11th century, it is less about seeing what's inside and more about noticing what's outside. Windows enhance our concentration because one peers out through them towards heaven and one's heart is subdued.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is Rashi. In other words, the windows point our hearts to Hashem in heaven. And then, of course, my favorite, Rambam. The 12th century shifts are peering outside from a vertical to a horizontal axis. Gotta love the Talmud. Gotta love it. We must set openings or windows towards Jerusalem so we can pray towards that direction. The focus is Jerusalem, our national homeland. And by the way, there's very interesting differences to be noted between the views.
Rabbi, can you read it as Fred?
All right, I can do this. All right. Based on Rabbeinu Yonah's approach, perhaps our shuls today, powered by electricity, would not technically require windows for light. For the other 2 reasons focused on looking outward, electricity would not change the need for openings. Regarding the positioning of the windows, Rashi's view might support installing a skylight which points towards heaven. But I mean, this is what Jews do. When we're not depressed, we work ourselves into little rabbit warrens, further and further and further into sensical, nonsensical thinking. This is why I love being Jewish. This is why I could not be more Jewish than I am. Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta get yourself a copy of J. Moore. It comes out how often? It comes out every 2 months. Not often enough. I want to see this every single day. Let me find one more amusing little Jew thing that I can share with you before my time is through on this. Oh, by the way, just so you know, if you can test for Goucher disease, you can test for everything. You ever heard of the Goucher disease?
There's a university rabbi called that name. I don't know if it's...
All my life, they had Tay-Sachs. This is what they warned us about. You can develop hereditarily Tay-Sachs disease. And now suddenly, out of nowhere, by the way, I'm not pronouncing it, it's French. So it's actually Gaucher disease. Gaucher, I used to Gaucher to watch the New York Mets lose. So now it's Gaucher disease. Got to test for that thing. And here's a... Here you go. I don't know what he's testing for. This is either the world's smallest shofar or a Jewish vaping pen.
Let me see. What is that?
I have no freaking. It's I'll read. I can read this. Let's see. Here at Torah LaKulanu, we started off the Yom Tov season with a true blast. Students engaged in many meaningful activities to prepare for Rosh Hashanah. Shows you how old this thing is. Shofar decorating, reviewing the sounds of the shofar, as well as a simanim placemat making, was an incredibly exciting event.
Wait, placemat making?
Placemat making. Oh yeah. But here's a kid figuring out how to make his own little baby, his own little his shofar. And doesn't he seem excited and delighted to be there, ladies and gentlemen?
You know why? He stepped out of the tour of the stained glass window watching. He was
Exactly.
mad because that's what his first choice was.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I see it. It's, as the comedians will say, it's my time. But it has been a joy sharing with Judaism things with you here on the Dave's Gone By program. I do want to wish you a most happy 2023 New Year. I did a rabbinical reflection last week for the New Year's program. I hope you enjoyed that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Rabbi Sol Solomon of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Have a happy one. Have a healthy one. Have a Jewish one. And Dave is coming back. He'll see you in a moment. Good Shabbos. Come on, play the damn thing. The hell's wrong with this thing? Come on, play it. Here we go. Hoban, I got this. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon. His website is shalomdamit.com, by the way. Shalom.
I'm surprised that there's a capability to use the web. Wasn't he banned by Musk? I thought Elon Musk banned him from any web usage.
He was banned by General Electric. But anyway, that is Rabbi Sol. Check him out at shalomdamit.com for his old TV show that he did, for his stage show called Shalom Dammit, and of course also for his rabbinical reflections, his mini sermons. He's got 170 something of them, and you can read them and listen to them at shalomdammit.com. Check them out. Well, it is not quite time for us to check out of the Daverhood yet on this Saturday, January 14th, 2023, our 877th episode of the program. We've been calling it Worth the Wait. We hope it has been for you. So what else? We have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned to do, and also our friends of the Daverhood. Is there anything else we want to talk about that we haven't? And we talk about waiting, obviously. Shoo-fly pie. Let's see. I didn't. You know who we didn't mention?
Who?
Because Rabbi Sal, he had to run to the bathroom, so he couldn't dance his way off. But have you guys seen on Twitter or on Facebook, bhangra guy?
No, I don't have his. I don't have my Twitter on here.
Well, I don't know if I can play the music because it might be copyrighted.
Don't. It's
But there's this South Asian fella who is getting famous, at least internet famous, for just dancing in kind of a gentle, nice way to happy up bhangra music, which is Indian music. And you can see because he always wears this red turban on his head. And he's not just dancing in a room most of the time, or he's not just dancing in a dance studio, but he goes to like Antarctica.
I'll show you, but I'll keep the music on.
Yeah. This is this guy. He's getting famous for doing this. I'll do the music for him.
Wait, no, it's not time yet.
Oh, is that? Yeah. But I forget his name is Gurdeep. I don't recall the fellow's name.
Oh, your video will play after this, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, great. So he goes to these ridiculous, far away, 40 degree below zero places where a Jew would be like, no, I'm going to Florida. And here he is. This is him. Yeah. I see, like, I
don't have my Twitter.
He's the abominable snow idiot.
No, it's lovely.
No, it's very fun.
Oh,
he's
there's lessons. He's doing lessons.
Yeah, he's a dance teacher. He's a real dancer. He dances in Indian, Hindi, whatever bhangra style is.
It's not in Hindi. It's not Hindi.
What is it? Is he Pakistani? What is he?
No, but it's not Hindi. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna try to.
Well, he does this. He goes. He teaches.
Here
of
he's
course.
teaching. No, you can't see, but just hold the edge of the phone. He's teaching bhangra, so he's teaching how to do it, and he lives in the Yukon in a cabin.
Yeah. I mean, this man was born in India, where it's 120 degrees in the winter.
No, he wasn't born in India. I don't think.
Oh, all right. Where was he born then?
I think he was born not in India.
Because he goes and he moves a place that's 140 degrees different in terms of temperature.
Is he dancing?
He's still sort of figuring out. He's like, okay, and this is how you make a puri bread. Well, hold on, we'll get to dancing.
I'll move it for you.
Oh, can you do it? Oh, now he's got hands on. Put your hands on your hips. What is this?
It's Jurdeep.
Do around you go.
It's Jurdeep Pandra.
Jurpeat, right? Jurpeat?
No, Jurpeat. Jurdeep.
Jurdeep, that's it. So, I mean, it's enjoyable. It's kind of goofy, and he's become, again, one of these internet meme celebrity guys because he's out there in 14-degree weather with this orange or red turban on, mittens, clumpy boots, and he's there just jumping up, and he is full of joy. There's something very like he just wants to share the joy and spirit of dance. Now, I don't know if he goes home, he beats the shit out of his kids, if he has any, or stuff like that. But at least the front face of Gurdeep Panda is kind of fun and kind of neat. But, and the nice thing is you don't really have to be a great dancer. Not that I could do it. I've got 4 left feet. But, it's a lot of arm movement and a lot of flapping. It's not like tango. It's not something that you have to study for 4 years to get. You just kind of go, move your body up, and the legs are flapping, and the thing is corkscrewing the feet. It is kind of fun to watch. And then, but, you watch it for a minute and a half and 2 minutes to go, kind of glad I'm not doing it. Kind of glad, because after he does this, He's got to go back into his cabin and shovel snow and live in the friggin' Yukon.
He's doing it with the guest.
Here we go. Oh, look at this. Look. It's like Gene Kelly and the mouse in the Hollywood musical. Yeah. And ring a dong ba ding a ding a bong a ding a ding a bo da ring a ding a bing a ding a bing a ding a boom. Hey, ring a ding a ding a ding a ong a ding a bang a ding a bing a ling a ding a bang a ding a bang a boom.
I don't think that's how it goes.
That is how it goes.
Listen.
It's exactly the same. Ding-a-ding-a, bing-a-dang-a, rung-a-bang-a. I was actually speeding it up. Yeah. It's like, I think it's the dancing that makes that horrible bhangra music tolerable. It's like,
It's great that he's doing it.
It is lovely. It's wonderful. Somebody should do that for the waltz. Like an 80-year-old should go around like waltzing with himself and say, anyone can waltz. You just do this and you go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All the patients with Alzheimer's would be like 1, 3, 1. Belt buckle.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he is. So God bless him. But it's just kind of an amusing person to go see on the web. Let's do some Friends of the Daverhood, and then we'll get to the Colorado Limerick of the Damned. But Friends of the Daverhood, what's kind of cool is like we had in the Daverhood today, not just me, not just Rabbi Saul of ShalomDammit.com and my darling and wonderful wife Joyce, but playing the game today were, of course, our beloved friends Leslie Hoban Blake, whom you can watch on Two on the Aisle on their YouTube channel, David Sheward, whom you can read in FigureLife.com, CulturalDaily.com, and also his blog, The David Desk, and Ronald Rand, who publishes the newspaper Soul of the American Actor, as well as has a book out called Solo Transformation on Stage, all about how to put together a one-person show and perform it and market it. So not so much about that. It's not more a how-to. It's more of an inspirational guide. But those are three of our friends in the Daverhood. We call them friends because they've been on the show. Well, there are people who have been on this program for years and years, or years and years ago, but they're like family to us. We like to let you know what they're up to. And that is why we call this Friends of the Daverhood. Okay, so Friends of the Daverhood, got some things to tell you about for this week. For example, today is January 14th. You know, on the 19th, you can see Wilson Germain Heredia.
Are you playing music?
Yeah, underneath, I've got the Haydn playing.
Okay, I was like,
Wilson Germain Heredia, who was in the original cast of Rent, he is doing a cabaret show at Chelsea Table and Stage. If you can't get there in person, it's also going to be streaming online. So check out Wilson Germain Heredia this week. Playing now through February 5th on Broadway, a play called The Collaboration. It's being produced by Manhattan Theater Club at their Samuel J. Friedman Theater on Broadway. I mean, this was a troubled birth a little bit because the actors had COVID. A couple of weeks ago, they had to cancel like a week of performances.
Wow.
Some of the reviews weren't great, but people want to see it, and people are apparently enjoying it. They've extended it twice now, especially to make up for some of the lost shows. So it's running now through February 5th and features our friend Eric Jensen in The Collaboration on Broadway. Austin Pendleton is directing the revival of Between Riverside and Crazy, that is at the Helen Hayes Theater, and then in an open run at the August Wilson Theater, Funny Girl, if you can get tickets, you know, or if you want to pay $500 for tickets. But
Wow.
Tova Feldsha is in there alongside Leah Michelle. But Tova Feldsha, our friend of the Daverhood, in Funny Girl. Lilias White is in Hadestown at the Walter Kerr Theater. And Alan Menken, of course, is the composer of Aladdin and also off-Broadway Little Shop of Horrors, which is at the West Side Theater. Jim Caruso's Cast Party every Monday night at Birdland. Go to birdlandjazz.com. Evan Seplow is the founder and editor of StageBuddy.com, a website of New York nightlife. And, you know, Dr. Demento is still doing Dr. Demento shows at drdemento.com. I want to give a shout out to Vicky Quaddy, who could not be on the quiz
How is
today.
she?
Well, she's on a train. She's going, I think, to St. Louis or somewhere.
Wow. For
So
work or for?
I'm not sure. But remember that you can see her most weekends in Chicago at the Greenhouse Theater doing late night catechism and Are You Smarter Than Your Eighth Grade Nun, and also Bible Bingo. It's all there for Vicky Quaddy in Chicago. Also, I want to remind you to read the theater reviews of Willard Manis. He covers Los Angeles for TotalTheater.com, and Siegel covering the theater for Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So cool stuff, and those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is just about noon Eastern Time here in the Daverhood, as we're close to finishing up our 877th edition of Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wife Joyce, and all the wonderful friends of the Daverhood. I want to remind you, you can email me, davesgoneby@aol.com. Yes, I still have that old AOL address, Dave's Gone By. I also have a Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2. It's Radio Dave and the number 2. And I should mention, I have another website, davelefkowitz.org, which is a great place to read all my work. It's my theater reviews from years ago, and more recently, it's my song lyrics, my one-act plays, my full-length plays, interviews I've done with people. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not grieving the loss of Lisa Marie Presley because she screwed me out of an interview. So, yes, am I venal? Yes, am I a little nasty for being that way? I don't care. It's me because I interviewed so many other people, like Olivia Newton-John and, who's the tennis player?
I don't know. Nana Navratilova?
No, Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King and Joan London and folks like that, and actresses as well. You can read all of these. They were originally in Long Island Woman magazine. Read them online right at my website, davelefkowitz.org. Well, I've put this off long enough. It's time. It's time to get poetical, ladies and gentlemen, with our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, because Joyce and I lived in Colorado for about 13 years, and so I got it into my head at one point for no reason at all to start writing a poem about a couple of different towns and places in Colorado. And I kept doing it because I kept finding more and more places that I could make really disgusting, vile, crude, short poems, limericks, 5-line poems about these places. And I've kept doing it ever since. And I've been bringing one a week to the Daverhood for the past 4 or 5 years now. I've got almost 250 of them. The latest from this week, Silver Plume, Colorado. Yes, there is a Silver Plume, Colorado. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it and then read a horrible poem about it too.
You're the poetry man.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain, Colorado, 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 Colorado.
Oh, dirty, dirty they do get, and they get evil and sick, and that's my kind of humor. So, ladies and gentlemen, Silver Plume, Colorado. It is, as you would guess from the name, a former silver mining camp near Georgetown, Colorado. It's populated in north central Colorado, not that far from Greeley, where Joyce and I used to live. Population is under 200, so it's kind of considered what they call a living ghost town, because there are houses there, there's families there.
What is a living ghost town?
Well, it isn't completely abandoned. So it was this thriving.
How many people live there? Like
about 200 now.
Oh, that's like my mom's town in Pennsylvania.
Right. So it isn't completely dead. It's not like
people are living there, but how do they shop and stuff?
Well, there's local places, and they can go 2 towns over in a car and be there
that's
somewhere
true.
else in
Yeah,
10
that's true.
minutes.
That's true.
But this was when it was really booming, of course, was when the miners were there and the railroads and stuff. It still has an old schoolhouse and the George Rowe Mining Museum. Wikipedia lists, there's a couple of different legends about the town itself, including it being named by a newspaper man for all the silver mines that were
David,
there.
that's what we were supposed to do yesterday on the 13th. You're
Silver
supposed to
mining?
No, you're supposed to do like a ghost story or something. We didn't do anything.
Oh, who knew?
I
Who's telling you
know.
this? Who's,
I read it on the interwebs.
oh, well, there you go. It's got to be true.
Interwebs knows everything.
Well, Wikipedia, the interweb, says another mine owner was beloved. There was a mine owner there who apparently was a really cool guy. He was like an excellent boss, kind and generous, but he was brokenhearted over his fiance's death. So the mining camp, in the evenings, he would be near a cliff and they would hear him play violin.
Oh, no.
And would echo because the acoustics there.
I
It
don't
was
like
just
that.
they would hear it say
I don't
beautiful.
Like that. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
One day though, he never got over the loss of the fiance. He shot himself,
Oh.
and so they put up a giant statue in his honor that is still there to this day. Anyway, and by the way, I checked out the weather there. It's a little chilly because it's 9,000 feet above
my
sea level, like
God.
more than 1.5 miles, so almost 2 miles. So it gets cold there in the winters and a bit snowy.
That's scary.
But Silver Plume, Colorado. And now that I've honored it by sharing with you some details about Silver Plume, I'm going to desecrate it with a Colorado limerick of the damned. Silver Plume, Colorado. I dated a lady from Silver Plume and laid her right there in her living room. But when I pulled out, she started to shout and pulled a dead embryo out of her womb. Please send your comments and complaints to davesgoneby@aol.com.
I need help. You need a lot of help.
davesgoneby@aol.com. You can also post your messages to me right here on this Facebook page. Either if you're a friend of the Daverhood or just a friend on Facebook, obviously you can send me a message thing or post your postings right under the show. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. davesgoneby@aol.com. Follow me on Twitter, Radio Dave 2. Read the websites davesgoneby.com and davelefkowitz.org, and have a fine week. So, Joyce, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking at things to do and
Yeah, we have the day ahead of us.
I can't find anything. I gotta do some writing,
Well, me too. We both have work to do for school and not for school and other
I
things.
got my own writing and articles and stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to get to it, and we're going to let you get to it. I want to thank you all for sharing your Saturday mornings with me, and we do anticipate being here next Saturday. Is going to be, let's see, 18, 19, 20, 20. Saturday, January 21st will be the next day has gone by. It will be 2 days before my 59th birthday. So some kind of special, I don't know if there'll be anything special going on, but we do have a guest planned for next week. He is veteran playwright Richard Vetter.
Oh, wow.
And he's doing a workshop reading of a latest play of his. Now, I remember this guy when his play, Gangster Apparel, was being done in New York, and we're talking 30-something years ago. So he's written screenplays, he's written plays, he's been in the game for as long as I've been in theater as a journalist and playwright, he's been in it too, if not a little bit longer, and still at it, which, you got to give credit for longevity. So we're going to be talking to Richard Vetter in the Daverhood next Saturday morning on Dave's Gone By, and then the week after that,
David,
what?
We could see a history of houseplants in exhibition.
Hey, where?
I'm teasing.
I
know it is there. It's at
is that the fairgrounds?
It's in Baltimore, though. It's too far.
But I also want to put this out early that on Saturday, January 28th, our episode on that date, we're going to have the return visit of actress Julie Holston. So that should be a ton of fun. So yes, lots of reasons to stay tuned, to check our Facebook page and the davesgoneby.com page to see what's upcoming in the Daverhood. But until then, don't miss your Daves going by. Happy January, happy still New Year to ya. Be safe, be well, and I hope whatever you have to wait for this week is worth waiting for and gone by.
Days gone by, days gone by, there goes the neighborhood. Days gone by, there goes the neighborhood.
Jewish apple cake or shoo-fly pie? I know, Jew-fly pie!